what we do here is go back.
Hopefully that is working, you never know. Good evening everyone, it's Mike here at Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. It is Saturday the 30th of October 2021 and welcome one and all. Looking over in the far corner there behind Kath's monitoring what is going on in the chat. Obviously if you want to say hello, please do in the chat. Also, our new addition to the family, Poppy, is actually watching the stream and she's really confused because she can see me on the screen and over here. There's two of me, yes. Get used to it. It's going to be a regular thing. So anyway, hopefully you're all having a great Saturday evening. For those of you not celebrating the festivities, it is obviously All Hallows Eve, literally, because it's Halloween tomorrow. So hopefully you've got some festive things planned, and hopefully if you are going to be kind of celebrating at home or just chilling, maybe get yourself a nice drink of something and just sit back, chill, relax. We're going to go through tonight, do some unboxings and obviously have some tech chat. We'll be taking your tech questions, all that kind of stuff, and just, yeah, having a pretty chilled out stream tonight. I've got a lot of stuff to get through, I'll be completely honest with you, so it could be a long one, so do make sure you've got yourself something to eat, something to drink, and you're in a nice comfy position, because yes, this could be a very long one. We've got a lot of stuff. We've got a load of stuff which have been sent to us this week by various members of you lot, the community out there, so thank you all so much for all the things you send us in the post. Some of which I can't possibly show on camera, but other things I certainly can, and I definitely will do, at least at some point. I don't always get around to it straight away. As some of you who've visited our humble abode will know, there's a lot of stuff here, and there's a lot to get through, and there's only so many hours in the day, so we have to get through it as best we can, which is why these Saturday night streams are brilliant, because we can go through, do a quick overview on loads of different products, and obviously have a chat about it, get your impressions as well. And also it's good because you guys can ask questions in advance, so that when I am doing a review, if Kath reminds me, which sometimes she will do, if there's any questions, she will go nudge me and say, Mike, don't forget. If I can get a word in. Yeah, if she can get a word in edgeways, that is. Who thinks that Kath should be on the stream? So, because she wants to get a word in edgeways, so that would be an ideal opportunity for me to just sit back and go, there you go, Kath, take the floor, it's all yours. She's smiling now. It's that nervous smile, you know, the one where you're smiling but you're not really happy. So. Yeah, anyway, moving on. So some of you have probably seen already, there's a long list of things which we've got to get through tonight, so we'll try not to take too long about it. Obviously there's been loads of things still going on in the tech world, new things coming out, etc, but we're going to try and avoid most of that. We're not going to really talk about too much about graphics cards and the lack of, although we probably will be touching on CPUs, because I've had an absolute nightmare of a day today trying to get hold of a decent, cheap CPU. You'd think it would be easy. Bearing in mind that the Ryzen AM4 platform has been out for the best part of 5 years now, if not more, you'd think that there would be some bargains to be had, but oh, no, there isn't. And there's some scalping MFers on eBay and places like that, Facebook Marketplace, and people are trying to take advantage. And it does seem, maybe you can let me know in the comments, let me know what you think. Are you really starting to see the pinch now? First of all, is graphics cards. Hard drives to some extent for some of you, if you're into NAS, they got a little bit crazy with Chia being developed and all that kind of stuff. But CPUs at the moment, especially the lower end ones, there's basically nothing on the market. So much so that today I have to hang my head in shame. I actually purchased from CEX, one of our go-to shops for getting second-hand components. I actually purchased a Ryzen 3 1200. Yes, a Ryzen 3 1200. 4 cores, 4 threads of whopping, I think it's only about 3.2 gigahertz performance. And it cost me the best part of £65 here in the UK, which is basically the cheapest I could get it. On eBay, it was the best part of £80 or £90. Even places like AliExpress, where you kind of take a punt and risk whatever comes through the post. Even on there, those sort of chips are looking £80, £90. It is absolutely insane. And I will mention as well, if you're looking on AliExpress for processors, don't type in 3000G. I'll wait a minute for some of you to open up another tab in your browser and actually go ahead and type it in. It isn't safe for work. Let me say that straight off the bat. It is not safe for work. And also sometimes if you type it into Amazon, it kind of comes up with similar results. But yeah, try it. Either 3000G or 3200G. Yeah. You probably won't get what you wanted. Well, you probably won't get a CPU. You might get what you wanted, but yeah, it won't be a CPU. And if you do order one of the 3000Gs off AliExpress, which isn't a CPU, I want to see pics or it didn't happen. Anyway, with that, let's move on. Let's say hello to some of you in the chat, because I can see you've all been very busy in there already. And it appears we've just had a super chat come in from Trooper C. £7. Much appreciated, Trooper C. Trooper C, I don't know whether I should say it or not. I should congratulate them. Got a job. Well done, especially in this economic climate and with the world as it is. Got himself a job. Awesome work. Keep up the good work, literally. And yeah, please don't feel that you have to spend your earnings on the channel. As much as we appreciate it, do keep some in reserve, because it's going to be a long winter ahead. So thank you very much. We do appreciate that a lot. Let's see who else we've got in the chat. We'll get this out of the way quickly. So we got Auralia's in with us. We got Colin. We got Poppy. What are you doing? For those who haven't seen her before, this is Poppy, our new addition. Oh, you got really warm little paws. She is so cute. It is insane. Although this is kind of like live.
You wanted another person with you.
I did want another person with me, but preferably one that could talk, not meow. Don't drink my tea. Okay. Also, we've got some new members as well. So Trooper C has also become a member, which obviously if you want to as well, if you want to help support the channel, membership is entirely optional, but we do appreciate it. I think it costs, it's $5, so that equates to about £3 here in the UK. Obviously the mileage will vary around the world, but thank you so much for that. Irie Wolfman has also joined and become a supporter. Awesome, thank you very much. What do you reckon, Poppy? You pleased with that? You like the lights as well, don't you? See, it's not just YouTube viewers that appreciate the lights. Oh, she's seen him on the screen now. Little lunatic. Also had a super chat from Hollis Nelson. Hollis Nelson, that's a new one. I've not seen your name in the chat before, but thank you so much for the $10 super chat. And Hollis says, thanks for your help with updating the BIOS question, Mike. Oh, no problem. Glad to help. There's no need to pay for me to answer questions. I will answer them free of charge, as most of you probably know. But thank you anyway, it is extremely appreciated. Did that work? Yes. I'll get the hang of this YouTube lark one day. So we've also got uglybob with us. Uglybob actually came down to good old Bristol this week and gave us a quick visit, and we bequeathed him with a gift also, and he bequeathed us with some gifts of popcorn for movie night and some Newcastle brown ale from his neck of the woods, and also some chocolates which we have already devoured, so thank you very much. Those were they look like condoms wrapped up in condoms, but they were actually chocolate, so thank you for that. Bob's only here for the bum bag. Here it is. Here is the bum bag in question. This is a really weird thing. Obviously companies send us stuff for review, and Hakii, which make Bluetooth headsets and various other things, actually sent us a little bit of a kind of a little package, because I said, look, we're really busy at the moment. They're like, well, we've got some things we'd like you to check out and see what you think of them. So I said, all right, okay, I'll see what I can do. But they sent us through 2 pairs of wireless TWS earphones or earbuds, which we'll be reviewing. There's a sports set and a kind of I was going to say ANC, the automatic noise cancelling ones, and also they sent through this unusual thing, which is frequently called in the United Kingdom a bum bag. In America, I'm assuming that you guys probably still call this a fanny pack. I think that is what it is known as traditionally in the United States. It is in a kind of like a fake leatherette, like you get headphone covers, and it's got all kinds of pockets and bits and pieces. I'm not entirely sure if they actually wanted me to review this as well, or what they want me to do with this, because I'm not entirely sure that a man of my age should be wearing a fanny pack. Let's be fair. It's very handy, and obviously you can keep things in there like your mic's unboxing pen and your mic's unboxing screwdriver multi-set, or potentially even your mic's unboxing, what's the thing called that goes on your head? Beanie. That's the one, a beanie. You could stick your beanie in there when you're not sweating your cobs off. And on the back it says #LiveMySound. You can't see the hashtag bit because whoever would have been wearing it might have been a little bit on the larger side. Hopefully you can see it now. Live my sound, #LiveMySound. So that is Hackie's kind of hashtag for videos, etc. It's quite nice actually. I've had bum bags in the past. I'll be honest with you, it is very distant past, let's be fair. Probably in the 90s or maybe possibly early 2000s, maybe. Most likely going to be in the 90s. But yeah, they weren't anywhere near as good a quality as this. This is actually very, very nice. So thank you, Hakii, for sending that. That is very much appreciated. Whether or not it'll get worn, I don't know. Maybe if I was a market stall holder, I possibly would wear it, but I don't see myself walking around our local park with that on. Although saying that, just for a laugh, I might actually do it. When we do the review for the headphones, we might go up to the local park and I'll just try and do some casual poses with my headphones on and my bum bag on and my mic's unboxing hoodie and looking rather roughneck or stupid or whatever you describe it as. Anyway, moving on from that, thank you, Bob. That was a very good segue. Jad2016's with us, says, I think you need some more stuff to unbox. I disagree entirely. There's a lot of stuff here. And Jazz2016 says also, specifically more fans. One thing we don't have enough of is probably fans. Fans get swallowed up so ridiculously quick, and if you're a regular PC builder or you're a flipper, and you'll know that getting through fans is an extremely easy thing to do. Like the PC behind me, which most of you have seen at some point or other in the videos, there's the best part of, what, 10 fans in there? Power supply, 6 RGB, 3 on there, 2 on the graphics card. Yeah, there's a lot of fans in there basically. So it's very easy to run out of fans. So yeah, we have got some new fans which have come in, which we'll take a deeper look at later, if I can grab one from the pack, the stack rather. So we've got these come in from our friends over at Arctic. Now Arctic have been really quiet of recent, and because of obviously supply chain issues and all that kind of stuff, and because of the weird thing, because Arctic is now Arctic.de, so they are essentially a European or German-based company, although they do distribute throughout the world. But Germany, I think specifically, and possibly France maybe, they seem to be having a lot of problems getting shipping to the United Kingdom, which is understandable, Brexit and all that kind of stuff, and again, the whole supply chain issue being absolutely ruined at the moment. So yeah, they've got a new person at Arctic who's kind of reached out and said hello and said, we've got some stuff, would you like to check it out? We've finally got a load of stock in, and they've basically sent a lot of it all in one go. So they've actually sent me 9 of these, plus a top secret cooler, which I'm not supposed to talk about, which is the Arctic Freezer A35, which is under embargo. Some of you may have seen the short that I did, I think it was yesterday. It's only a little 15-second short. This was before that we knew of the embargo, or embargo rather. And yeah, I'm not really supposed to say a great deal about it. In terms of specifications, pricing I can't say because at the moment I don't know for sure. Performance I'm not supposed to talk about, but what I will say is I have been using it for obviously testing to get the video out in timely fashion, and the A35 is going to be a hot seller. It is going to be, I would say it's probably going to be as big a seller, if not bigger, than the Freezer 33, Freezer 34, and all the kind of products in that range that came before it. If they get the price right, it's going to be absolutely knockout. You'll find out from the full video. I've done most of it already. Just got to do a follow-up, but things are looking exceptionally good. So if you are thinking about buying yourself a 120mm tower cooler and you're not sure what to get at the moment, please hold off your purchases at the moment and wait for the reviews to come out. Obviously there will be other reviewers that will be taking a look at it as well, so you can get a balanced idea of what's going on. But definitely wait, see what the pricing is like, see what the availability is like, and you may be on to an absolute winner. Oh, you're not going to go asleep there. She's actually going to go asleep there. Help, calf. Poppy, you can't sleep there.
Sorry.
Don't cue the Q-link, or claw the Q-link. Anyway, moving on from that. So we have got, oh actually that's still on the screen, I forgot about that.
General was only there to see the kitten, so
Right, okay.
she had to come back on.
So these fans, anyway, I can talk about these because these aren't under embargo. They are actually available from APTX website, and I think you can get them on Amazon as well and things like that. So these are the P120 PWM PST A-RGB 0dB fans. Now these are based on the new kind of Arctic technology, which they seem to be introducing into a lot of their fans. Some people, myself included, did notice previously, especially with things like the Freezer 32, is it 32? No, 33 and 34. The fans did make a little bit of a whine at higher RPMs. Now these have been designed specifically so that they don't do that. They're essentially, well, they're silent, give or take. So this is what they look like. You've got two leads coming off, both of which have got pass-throughs. So you've got pass-through PWM PST technology, so pass-through technology, so you can daisy chain these, making wiring easy. Also when it comes to the addressable RGB, 5V standard plugs, again with a pass-through, so you can daisy chain the bejesus out of these and install as many as you want. You've got rubberized grommet dampeners on both sides, which is awesome. But the best thing is this new blade design. So we've got the 5-blade design with a real big scoop on there, pressure optimized, and you'll probably make out, actually, if I put the overhead camera on, if it's actually working tonight, yes it is, there we go. So you can see there is actually a plastic ring which goes all the way around, which joins all the blades together. So the way this works is it focuses the pressure. So because you've got the plastic ring around the outside edge, because the fan's spinning like that, it is basically scooping the air in. Now often, because if you didn't have that plastic bit there, you kind of lose some of the pressure against the outside rim between the gap of the fans and the outside rim of the frame. Because you've got this inner rim, it actually focuses it more. So they give off a tremendous amount of static pressure, but at a particularly low and quiet RPM. So again, these are being used across the range now for Arctic. This is their new kind of direction. They are ridiculously quiet. They are, I've been testing them and they are insanely quiet. And also they do 0dB. So if your system's underneath a certain temperature, you can set them to just stop altogether. The RGB still carries on, but they do stop. So that is excellent. Yes, Kath?
William wants to know what was the name of that cooler again.
William wants to know the name of the cooler. The name of the cooler is the Arctic Freezer A35, and there's two versions. There's the Intel one, which is the i35, and there is the AMD one, which is the A35. Both of which, again, they haven't officially released pricing yet. There's been a couple of websites which have shown pictures of them. I think we're allowed to actually show pictures of the box itself. So maybe I should actually do that now, grab it off the shelf so you can take a look, but I can't do anything else other than that. So that is the Arctic Freezer A35 A-RGB tower CPU cooler for AMD with addressable RGB. Comes with MX5 as standard, 6-year warranty, as you can see, limited 6-year warranty, Arctic addressable RGB fans. I'm not going to show any more than that because I don't want to get myself into trouble, but definitely if you are considering upgrading your CPU cooler and you're on either AMD or Intel platforms, the Freezer A35 for AMD and the Freezer i35 for Intel systems, and they will be coming with the Intel LGA 1700 brackets upgrade kit as well. So they have actually included one of those for us for the AIO. So basically there's bracketry included, which is basically new brackets and connectivity. So Arctic are going to be doing that. So this is particularly the Liquid Freezer 2 Intel LGA 1700 upgrade kit, which is available as a separate product or will be included in some of the newer models depending on shipping. So yeah, this cooler, I've been testing this against the Noctua D15, which is obviously you would consider to be an unfair test, but I think you will all be surprised at the results. Anyway, moving on from there. Yes, Karen?
Reality Dog asks, what's the fan's bearing type?
The fan's bearing type is I believe it's a fluid dynamic bearing on a carbon rod, I believe. I did have a look. Yes, it's a fluid dynamic bearing. Fluid dynamic bearing. It's not easy for me to say. Fan speed on these, anywhere between 0 and 2000 RPM, PWM controlled. The airflow is rated at 48.8 CFM, which I actually thought seemed low. Bearing in mind that a lot of Noctua fans and even Arctic's own P-series fans and the Bionics actually have sometimes up to 700 CFM. Sorry, 70 CFM or thereabouts. So it was very odd to see that they were only rated as 50. Now, all I can say for that is, well, I can't explain it scientifically, but my theory is when you're talking about CFM, you're not necessarily talking about air pressure or the kind of the flow of the air. Now, my opinion is that because this is a very focused airflow, i.e. concentrated in a specific area behind the fan, the CFM isn't as high, but because it's more directional, it works better. So if, for instance, you wanted to strap one of these onto, maybe you've got a, what's that? I know. Maybe if you were to strap these onto a, say, a Evo 212 cooler or a Vitro V5, that kind of thing, because of how focused the air is, you don't have to push as much air through to get as a good a cooling. So I'm trying to think how I can explain that in a really kind of simplistic way. Think of it like a traffic cone. It's probably not the best analogy here, but bear with me. So if you think of a traffic cone, if you've got the traffic cone and you've got the big end, the wide end towards your mouth and the cone end towards the end, if you blow through it, you're going to get a very high pressure and you're going to get a lot of wind flow coming out that tapered nozzle, like a jet engine. Whereas if you do it the other way around, and you're using it like a horn sort of thing, and you blow through the small end and then it's dissipating outwards, it loses focus and it loses air pressure. So you could put through an absolute ton of airflow through there, hundreds of CFM, but you're not necessarily going to get a very good cooling result because the air isn't focused in a specific place. Whereas the other way around, obviously, if you've got your air focused, like laser focused onto a specific area, i.e. heat pipes on a cooler, then you can achieve a much better cooling with less CFM and less RPM. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully that is how it works. I'm pretty sure it is. I did physics at school, and yeah, that didn't work out very well. But yeah, I think that is pretty much how it works. I would have to, maybe Steve from Gamers Nexus, when he gets his fan testing equipment up, he can actually test them and validate what I've just said. I would love to be right. Potentially I'm not. It happens. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk to some more of you in the chat.
Reality Dog? Go on.
Oh, I better go for the top. So uglybob says the RGB keyboard is smart. Had to play with it the other day. It's quite heavy too. Oh yeah, that is the Marvo keyboard. It does look actually really good. I was surprised how cheap it was as well. And Bob actually sent us another keyboard set, which is the Havit. Havit? Yes, Havit set, which I must get through to doing that as well. Where else have we got? So Jan 2016, the clocks go back. They do this evening, yes. So yes, in theory, midnight happens twice tonight. So it goes 11:59, then it goes to 1 o'clock. No, then it goes to 11:59 again, doesn't it? Or does it?
Isn't it 2 o'clock it changes back to 1?
Yeah, I think it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, so it goes 1:59, then it goes back to 1 again.
It depends when anywhere shuts.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bob said there, yeah, in the UK they do tomorrow morning at 2 AM, they go back an hour, so it'll be lighter in the mornings. For bits, so much darker in the evenings. Yes, so much darker in the evenings. I don't like dark evenings. So we've got a rally with us as well, and uglybob, JAD 2016. I didn't ever get through saying all this, did I? I'll try and fast forward through it. So we've got Rick H says, good evening all, hope everyone had a good week. I believe I have both of those motherboards. Oh yeah, we've got a really good deal on the motherboards. We'll take a look at those shortly. Michael Kemp's with us, says, hi Mike, is it easier to clip the Ryzen 7 3700X CPU fan out of the case or in the case? Definitely easier to do it outside of the case. I really do, especially with the OEM coolers or the stock AMD cooler, doing that on a flat surface, by far much easier than doing it in a case. Unless you can get to the back of the case and maybe put something behind the back plate to support it, to kind of really hold it in place, because you do need to put quite a bit of force on those screws. So definitely if you can, the motherboard on a flat surface is considerably easier.
Can I just interrupt you, take your ages?
Yes, go on.
Mitchell Smith, is it time to go home yet?
Mitchell Smith, how you doing Mitchell Smith? Is it time to go home yet? No, but I might put my clock, I know, if I put my clock back tomorrow morning, that's going to make me have to do an extra hour's work, which will suck. Anyway, thanks for tuning in Mitchell, nice to see you, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. That sounds weird. Who else next? Michael Cam, we said that one. Roll SJR, or Rolls Jr. Yeah, Rolls Jr. I guess that is. Says, hi, how you doing? Trooper C has become a supporter. Yeah, we saw that. And he says, love it. Yes. I used to say that all the time when I was younger. Love it. Who am I? Matthew Day's having pizza tonight, plus microwave potato. We had pizza tonight from our local place, which is Rose Takeaway in Staple Hill. Rose Takeaway, if you're watching or anyone here knows them or whatever, pass on my best wishes. They make an absolutely fantastic pizza. Potentially the best pizza I've ever had. And very reasonable price as well. So thank you. And if you wish to become a sponsor of Mike's Unboxing, get in touch. I'm sure we could definitely work something out on that. Paul Baker's with us as well, says good evening to you all. Capt Rovius says evening folks. William Bodie says moin. How you doing William? Good to see you. And uglybob, yeah, William Bodie, blah blah blah. Here we go. Christ, that was 4 minutes ago. That's half an hour ago, sorry.
No, you're so behind.
I am so bad. Ordinary Dude says greetings. How you doing Ordinary Dude? Ordinary Dude, possibly, potentially the hardest working person I know. Ever. The amount of hours that man works in a week is insane. So, well done. Genuinely, well done. I couldn't do it, although I kind of sort of do. Although not on a Sunday, as Mitch will probably attest to.
You could have a day off.
Yeah, I've got to have a day off, haven't I? Oh dear. Oh, I went too far then. I just jumped to the forward thing. Yeah, thanks for super chat. So Dutch Jan says ho hi, how you doing? Jamie352. Sky Stalker has invaded the stream. Hi Sky Stalker, how you doing? Hopefully you're recovering. Who else there? Oh, Dirty Dog 0214 or is that, yeah, 24, oh, yeah, whatever that is, I don't understand. It says, right Mark, how's it going mate? It's fine. It's Mike. You can call me Mark, I don't mind, it's fine.
I'm not seeing half these messages.
I think I've scrolled down too far. Or if you've got are you in top chat or all chat?
All chat, live chat.
Let me put live chat and see if that changes things. Is that better? John Sullivan says, actually, yeah, I'm gonna get up to date and I'm gonna roll backwards. Trev Good says, did you see my question? No, because I'm just starting from the bottom and working back up, so I might do in a minute. Matthew Day says, collecting a fresh supply of giveaways on my rebuild, got Video Proc and a couple of others. Yeah, there's lots of free software going around at the moment. I must try out PC Building Simulator. That does look extremely interesting. I'm probably the last person to ever use it, but it looks very good. Reality Dog says, Mike, I installed PC Building Simulator via Steam yesterday. Kind of fun. Ever try it? Wow, I just answered that question before I got it. That was good. This is not going well. Charles Arnold says, hi Mike, hi Kath, sorry I haven't dropped in for some time. Hope all is well. Yes, so all is reasonably well. And good to see you, Charles. Welcome back. Kieran Atkins says, I'm here, I just fell asleep. I do have that effect. I was filming a video the other day, and what video was it, Kath?
It was the PC case. It wasn't actually.
Oh yeah, it was a PC case review that I was doing, and Kath was literally sat behind the camera. She was looking after the cat as well, and she was, I could see her eyes go. I was waiting so I could have to dive over and save her from falling on the floor.
Save your camera.
Save my camera, yeah, more so. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to go the other way. Right. Rick H says, a man your age wears that, no one will bother you. Oh yeah, that's about the bum bag, excellent. Sir Soppy of Balls says, good evening, how you doing, Soppy Balls? Captain Robbie says that he got his 6600 XT for 380 quid, anything over 400 quid, don't touch it. 5700 XT is a better deal if you can find one. Yeah, graphics cards, oh man. I've seen 5700 XTs go for $1,200. That's like at least $800 overpriced. Absolutely insane. Dr. X UK says B550M Pro VHD Max motherboards on Amazon, 60 quid. I have to take a look at that, that's not too bad at all. Tristan G says, hi Mike, Kath and all, how you doing Tristan? Where are we? Angel's on the stream as well. Hey Angel, how you doing? Where's Poppy? She has been on the stream. You've probably seen her already by now anyway. Mike's stock in a box, says Willy Bob. Geordie General says, I'm just here to see the kitten. Well, hopefully you've seen her. Mark Barry says, looking forward to that A35 review, especially with the RGB, lol. I really, really want to get that review done for the A35. Seriously, it's not often recently that there's been a product which has come out which I've been like, wow, that's awesome. I think the last time I had that was probably the Vitro V5. That was definitely up there. Some of the first SSDs I used, they were like, wow, mind-blowing, absolutely brilliant. And possibly some of the B450 boards, I think, they were particularly good as well. Maybe a couple of CPUs have been good as well, but there's not been anything which I've been like, wow, that is like, how does it do that? Not often that happens. And hopefully, again, as long as Arctic get the pricing right on that Freezer A35, which I'm praying they do, it's, yeah, it's insane. It is insane. I hope it's priced how I think it's going to be priced. If it follows the other Freezer A series coolers, which tend to be slightly cheaper than their Freezer 33 or 34 brethren, yeah, it could be absolutely awesome. Anyway. Irie Wolfman says, is that fan the 0dB version? Yes, it is, the Arctic fans. I've got 9 of them, absolutely insane. The plan is, Arctic, they wanted to send me their latest addressable RGB Freezer 360, but they were just about to send all the bits and pieces out, and they said, oh, damn, we haven't got the stock for it. What do you want to do? Do you want to wait for it all, or do you want us to send what we've got? I said, well, why not send me the original Freezer 2 360, send me some RGB fans, and for those people that have bought the Liquid Freezer 2 360 but wanted the RGB version now it's come out, I can show them how easy it could be to actually just buy these fans, which are essentially the same as what come with the ARGB version of this, but obviously the cable management is all done for you, but for not a great deal of money, you can upgrade this to become the addressable RGB version. So I'm going to basically put 3 of these fans onto here and make it ARGB. And then this cooler and also the 9 fans, so 6 fans, going to be going in the case behind me, hopefully, or possibly the one from Colink, which was the Void, no, Colink, what was that? What's the one in the front room? Unity, no, not Unity. I can't think what it is, the cube one. It's basically, it's like that, but a little bit wider. So in theory, what I'm going to do is put 3 fans along the top, 3 fans along the bottom, and then the other 3 fans I'm going to attach to the Liquid Freezer 3 and have in that rear position there. So we're going to have 3 intake, 3 exhaust, and then the cooler. It seems to work really well like that. You'd think that that shouldn't work because that's kind of negative pressure, but somehow it does work. I have tried it with having the top intake, the bottom intake, and also those as exhaust, which they are, and I actually get about 2 or 3 degrees warmer in the case. So having it slightly negative pressure I'm guessing because the heat is rising up through and then being exhausted at the top, it just aids the cooling in general. So anyway, that is what I'm going to do, and that is the plan. Although actually, after seeing how well the A35 performs, I'm kind of tempted to ditch the liquid cooler. Sorry Arctic, if you're watching this, I apologise. Unity Codex was the case, sorry.
What was the thermal take one? Matthew, what, didn't it?
What, the one that's coming? Yeah, we've got another thermal take case coming, the little mini ITX one. I think it's called, is it the T10 or T100? I'm not too sure. It's basically the little cube one, which looks very similar to a one of those grabber machines that you'd find in the amusement arcades where you put like a pound in, you can try and pull a teddy out. It's got that kind of square, upright look to it. But it's ITX. I really want to do, they're sending it in the green version, so it's going to be the green case, they're sending green RAM, it's going to be a green theme, so... Carlsberg, that's not a bad idea actually. Good one, Bob, we like that, the Carlsberg case. I've been looking on our Discord today asking for, seeing what the deal is and what people kind of would like. And I'm kind of liking the Luigi idea. Luigi, I think, would be a very good theme. So I can get some like Lego Mario stuff, Luigi figures and stuff, and stick that in there. I think that would work out pretty well.
But you could cool your beer in it.
But I could do a Carlsberg one and actually do some sort of open loop with Carlsberg in there. Oh dear, I've become bitwit and I didn't even feel it. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what else in. I will have to grow some hair, yes. Brandy says, I thought that short was strange coming from you. Yes, it was. Brandy, yeah. Where else we? Fred Brown says, liked number 31. Thank you, Fred Brown. William Bodie says, what was the name of that cooler? Done that one. Dutch Jan said, Arctic now also starts with those ridiculous names. Yeah, the names are getting a little bit longer, aren't they? You're finding that across the board. It's like, what was it, the Asus board in that machine there? So it's the Asus TUF Gaming Wi-Fi Plus something or other. So it's such a long name. Fan bearing type, we did that. Pierre plays with us. How you doing, Pierre? Eddie says, hi Mike and Kath, how you doing, Eddie? Uglybob says, oh, you get MX5 with them then? Yeah, and actually they sent me some MX5 as well, another syringe of it. So I've got enough cooling paste for the foreseeable until our MX6 comes out. And weirdly, I don't know how, some of you probably remember the video I did, MX4 versus MX5, and actually the first time I was using the MX5, I actually found it really horrible to use. And I didn't find it as good as the MX4, only by a degree or two, and it could be down to my application method. That is very, very possible. Tried it again yesterday when I was doing the video, and I found it to be a much better consistency. So I don't know whether it's because where it was in the syringe, and actually I've got through an area which may have not been mixed particularly well.
Maybe the temperature in the room because it's got colder.
Could be the temperature in the room as well, possibly. But it just seemed to applicate a lot easier, and actually I did find it before, it was quite difficult to spread. But even yesterday when I did it, I thought, because you're supposed to use a plastic spatula to kind of spread it to make a thin film. I was looking around, I was like, well, I haven't got one. Sod it, I'll just use my finger. And normally if I'd used MX4 or 5 with my finger, it kind of clumps. But actually it seemed to smooth over the CPU quite easily, and I was quite surprised. So I'm thinking that maybe I might have to revisit the MX5 video, and now that I've actually got a little bit deeper into the actual syringe, I can't even say it. The tube. I'm further into the tube. That's what I meant to say. I'm further into the tube, so maybe it's a different consistency, which isn't great because obviously you've paid money for the whole lot and you want to use the whole lot. But if it turns out that it's actually a bit better further into the tube, then maybe that's something we should take another look at. What else are we? Reality Dog says, is the fan designed for static pressure stroke airflow or a hybrid style? Well, the P series fans generally tend to be pressure optimized. Although saying that, it doesn't appear, again, from the specifications on the box of the fans, if you look at the specs, just the raw specifications, the fans don't sound very good. They honestly don't. And I can't explain how they've managed to pull off what they have. The fans are essentially silent, they move a ton of air, and they keep things really cool. Yet the specs don't reflect that, which I guess is why things like YouTube exist, because we can do these reviews and then you can look at the specs and go, well, okay, that seems in paper as if it shouldn't be as good, but it's better, or it's as good as. So yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting one. Trev Good says, hi Mike, what got you started in IT industry? Getting married, essentially. Because I was always into computers, but mostly as a young person, ZX81, Spectrum 48K, etc., and a few consoles. Then we got married, and it was like the PC boom was starting around about 96. Must have been, was it 96 we got married? Yeah, wasn't it? Early 96, so obviously internet was starting to become a thing then, and we were given some money as a wedding present. So I was like, well, what should we do? We've got a house, I don't know, let's buy a PC. So we got some people that we worked with to build us a PC, and they made a real pig's ear of it, and I spent more time trying to fix it than anything else, and I guess I kind of caught the bug from there. I always like taking stuff apart anyway, as I guess a lot of you in the chat probably do. So yeah, that is how I started off, started tinkering and then building people PCs on the side whilst I did a normal job. Then started working for an IT company, and yeah, the rest is kind of history. Wild Bill says, hi Mike, I have one question. I was to do a Windows 10 reset on my PC. The OS that was on there was originally an upgrade from Windows 7, but I was to reset it to a different SSD. How, please? I'm not sure if I understand that. I'm gonna have to read that again. I was to do a Windows 10. So basically, you're trying to do a Windows 10 reset on your PC. The OS that was in there originally was an upgrade from 7, so that's fine. But it was reset. But I was to reset it to a different SSD. How, please? I'm not too sure. If you do, this hopefully might answer the question. If you want to do an OS reset, so if you're running Windows 10, even if it was an upgrade from 7 to 8 to 10, whatever your current operating system is, if you do a system reset from within Windows, it will reset to the current version that you've got installed on your system. It won't backdate it to Windows 7 or Windows 8, because those will be in your windows.old files, which will probably have been deleted if you kind of do any kind of PC management or maintenance of your PC, deleting temp files, that kind of stuff. Even if they were there, it probably wouldn't restore them anyway, because of differences in hardware, etc. So most of us kind of upgrade bits and pieces, so it wouldn't roll back. It will always go to whatever is on the system. And in terms of activating, if you've got a Microsoft account, then generally it should just reactivate. If not, you can pick up Windows keys really cheaply these days. Premium CD keys, for example, is a really good place to get them from. They're very, very cheap. So for the sake of, yeah, it costs you less than a pint of beer for a new Windows key, so it's not really worth the hassle. Personally, unless there's something you actually need to keep or programs on there that you want to kind of keep intact, I would always say if you get to the point where you need to reset your PC, just nuke it. Go nuclear, download the Windows Media Creation tool, reinstall fresh. Fingers crossed it should activate once you've got your drivers installed. It might not do it first of all. Sometimes it'll take actually 2 or 3 days before it goes, oh, hang on. Yep, this PC hardware has been on this before, so we can activate. So if it doesn't do it straight away, don't panic. Obviously, if you are the sort that does like to panic and you don't mind spending a £5, then yeah, get yourself a new key. But otherwise, just leave it, install your drivers, and you'll probably find after a day or two, it will actually activate anyway. Yeah, if you're not sure, Bill, head over to the Discord and we can kind of try and guide you through it and see what's going on. Alexa says, time changes on Sunday, November the 7th here in the US. Yeah, that was always a bit weird because our time clock changes slightly differently. So if you've bought anything on Amazon or AliExpress, which is kind of like American, or you've got your language or stuff set to American, it will do the time thing on the wrong day, which can be, yeah, a bit of a pain. Not too bad when the clocks go backwards, but when they go forward and you're an hour late for work, it's difficult to explain. Mitchell Smith, is it time to go home yet? Mitchell said that, for those of you that are wondering what is like an in-joke, basically, whenever I turn up for work, the first thing I say almost when I get in the door and literally walking down towards the kind of cloakroom to put my bag down, it's always look at my watch, is it time to go yet? And then that theme continues through the day. And I suggest for all of you that work in an environment where there's other people around, especially management, do that often. If you think you might get into trouble for it, don't do it. But I like to do it just to wind up people and the management especially. And Ian, if you're watching, I do it on purpose, I really do. But you're not there on Sunday, so it doesn't matter. Moving on, so Jamie352 says, I hate them AMD brackets. Yes, that's actually another point of why you're going to like the A35 freezer. Again, I can't show you, and I can't tell you about it, but you're going to like it. They have any problem. If you watch my older videos on the freezers, the 35, the 30, oh god, the names. The original freezer, even the freezer 64, I guess to some extent. No, the 64 didn't have it. But the freezer 33 and 34, I'm sure there was one before that as well. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. Anyway, any of the freezer ones, you guys will have seen me in a live stream trying to get those clips to work. I won't say any more, but problems have been resolved, my friends, which makes life a lot easier. uglybob says, just bought the B550 MSI motherboard, being looked at tonight. 60 quid, but there's an Amazon 5 off promotion, 55 quid for the MSI B550 Mobo is a bargain. I've not seen that yet. I'm going to have a look at that later, because no, I'm not going to do it actually, because I don't need any more motherboards. I've got too many motherboards. I just bought another 2 today, which actually, that is a very good way of segueing into it, although it is underneath all this other stuff. So, actually, I'll go through some of the stuff on the top first of all. That's going to be a lot easier. So let me just clear the screen there. And parts and parcel of the reason why, well, the Arctic fans are great because you can join them all together. So they're daisy chainable, both PWM and also on the addressable RGB. But me being me, I don't always like to daisy chain them. And also sometimes it's just physically not possible, depending where the cables end up, because the routing of them, it's not always feasible to daisy chain all the cables together. So I actually bought ages ago the Arctic case fan hub. So this is, I believe this does 10 fans, all with PWM. It's actually a really nice little unit because it's absolutely tiny. I think these are about £10 or something. They're not particularly expensive and it's a very handy thing to have. So what you're looking at is a SATA connection on one end. So that's going to be your power for your fan, so you don't overload your fan headers on your motherboard. And then around the outside edges there, you've got your fan connectors for up to 10, so 5 on each side. And then all you need is the basically the PWM signal from your motherboard. So you can plug that into a single header. So even if you've got one of those older motherboards or a motherboard which is like a micro ATX, some of the cheaper ASRock boards, the A320s, and even some of the MSI A320s, have only got like one extra fan header, but if you've got more than one fan, then obviously it's difficult. So you can use that single PWM fan header, literally just plug this in to the end here. Can't remember which way around it goes. That way, so that locks in position. And that is it. So you take your feed from your motherboard into this, plug in your 4 fans, plug in SATA power, you're good to go. You can power up 10 fans without killing your motherboard header. And you do get double-sided sticky strips there, so you can stick it onto the back of your case. Or you can use these. These are magnetic. So you just stick those on and then you can magnetize it to the back of your PC. And if you ever need to take it out, what you need to do, just pull it off and that's it, job done. Happy days. So very handy thing to have. But I can probably hear you saying, but Mike, what about the RGB? Well, don't worry, because for an extra, I think this is £7.30 or something, you can get one of these little gizmos. So this is actually a 11-port addressable RGB header, I suppose you would call it, or splitter. Actually, I'll leave the instructions in there because we don't really need them. It's quite self-explanatory. So I'm going to put the overhead on so you can see that. So that is what it looks like. So essentially, it is a bare board, so you can see all the pins there, which isn't ideal, but we'll get the job done. On the back, you've got some 3M sticky tape, so you just peel that back and you can stick it into the back of your PC case or maybe in a drive caddy, that sort of thing. Power, SATA again, so just plug in a spare SATA connection and that will power all your addressable RGB so you don't overload the headers. And all you do is take one of these headers, any one of them, doesn't matter which one, There's 12 to choose from. So one is going to be a input and the other 11 are going to be outputs. So you can have an absolute ton of RGB on there. So say for instance, on this particular one, we're going to plug in on this header here.
How many pins on that controller?
How many? This is 3-pin RGB, addressable RGB, not 4-pin 12 volt. So it comes with that 3-pin connector. Literally plug that into the header on your motherboard, and then that will send the signal and split it around all the rest of the fans. Now obviously you're not going to get things like you do with Corsair where the fans all do something a little bit different. So it's basically going to replicate the same thing on every single header, which is entirely normal, but just so you know that it's not going to be, so if it starts off red there, it's going to gradually go round all of them. They're going to do all the same thing. I'm going to be doing a full video on this anyway, so you'll see how that all works, but it's actually a really handy thing to do. If you need more addressable RGB headers and you've only got one, then for the sake of £7, I think this was, then you can add them on very, very simply. The only concern I would say is, depending on your case and how you got it set up, maybe you want to blank off the exposed pins with some black tape or something, just to protect them from shorting out or anything, which potentially they could do.
The other one.
What, on the fan hub? Fan hub, those are all 4-pin PWM. It will not do 3-pin. So if you're trying to use 3-pin fans, this will not do it. Well, it will, but they'll all run at full speed, which is not ideal unless you've got low RPM fans. So yeah, the combination of that, less than 20 quid, I think it's actually a very elegant solution and doesn't take up a great deal of room. It's not very big, but that is pretty tiny and can work wonders. So that will be going into, again, the PC behind me to get all that up and running. So I'm quite looking forward to doing it, actually. I was a little bit nervous about it because it's quite a big thing to undertake, and I wanted to do it quite quickly, but I know really if I try and do it quite quickly, it's all going to end in tears. So I'm going to do it slowly, get all the bits together, make sure I've got everything I need. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to go back to Windows 10 and redo the install on the PC behind me. There does seem to be, even though I'm running on an Intel platform, there does seem to be some unusual lag sometimes in the menus, which I've not entirely worked out why. Maybe it's an inherent Windows 11 thing, but certainly if I click on the start menu and then type in like OBS to find my shortcut for OBS, there's definitely a couple of seconds or a second or so lag before it actually finds it. Whether or not it's something to do with the indexing system and how that all works, maybe it is. Possibly I'll wait a little while and see if there's any more updates which come out which actually improve things. Damn, I forgot to put that in there. But yeah, I don't know. What about you guys? Are you finding Windows 11 to be okay? Is it behaving itself? Are you finding any performance dips, that kind of stuff? I would say, other than that slight lag, overall it doesn't seem too bad at all. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like I've got quite a fast processor in here. It's the Intel 10600, just the standard one, not the K. It's a 6-core 12-thread CPU, which can boost up to, I think, something like 4.7 gigahertz, possibly, maybe even more. But it just doesn't seem to be as snappy as I would have thought it was. But maybe I'll go back to Windows 10 and we'll see if that improves things at all. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Anyway, all these items, if for some reason, like obviously it's Saturday night and you've had a couple of drinks or whatever, some of these things I will be doing obviously dedicated videos on. So if there's something you're not sure of or that I haven't covered or just you want to see it in more depth, then they will be available in the coming days, weeks, months, whatever. Hopefully this year. Let's have a look. So Bojan says, hi from Serbia, how you doing? I bet it's colder there. Is it always cold in Serbia? I get that impression that it's cold, like Siberian weather. Maybe, don't know. James Miscellaneous says, I'm here lurking, how you doing, mates? John Sullivan says, sorry I'm late, celebrating my mum's 77th birthday. Happy birthday, Mrs. Sullivan, possibly, if that's the name. Happy birthday, anyway. Let's fast forward a bit, see what I've got on here. Eron says, I think there's a Chinese brand named Coolmoon. I guess that they have their own, they have both PWM and adjustable RGB hub. Yeah, Coolmoon, they got some, I've tried some of their stuff. It's very hit and miss how good or bad their stuff is. And I think I'm slowly starting to kind of realize this, I think. The whole point of this channel was always to do things that made sense budget-wise. Some of the things that we're trying and some of the things on the market which the whole point, like when you're doing YouTube stuff, a lot of the time it's like, wow, look how cheap, or whole PC, £300. And in doing that, quite often we do cut corners. I'll be completely hands up honest, we do. So you'd buy a cheaper case or cheaper fans or cheaper cooler, all those kinds of things. It's good for a bottom line thing, or if you're having to run it by someone and say, look, this is how much the PC is going to cost, are you cool with that? And because you've got it down to a price point, and then you've done it, and then later on you're like, well, these fans are a bit noisy, or the click in, or the RGB doesn't work, or something's broken because it's cheap or whatever. Are we always doing ourselves a good thing by buying all this cheap stuff? And the more that I'm getting stuff coming from places like AliExpress and that, some of the real cheapo stuff, it does make me wonder if it is worth it. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I've always been a relatively big fan of the Snowman coolers, where whether they've changed their kind of practices or whatever, but I've noticed recently that they come through a lot more damaged and with a lot more issues. I've had a couple of them where fans have failed altogether, which is not a normal thing. Most CPU coolers you buy these days, and even case fans, to get one to fail is pretty unusual. And I did a little bit of digging around, as you do, usual thing, Coolman fan failure, and actually it seems like it's a very, very common thing. So although we're being kind of drawn in by these cheap prices for these products which appear to be as good as the kind of the on-brand models, is it always a good idea to go as cheap as we do in some instances? Yes, if you're flipping a PC, I guess it doesn't make a great deal of difference depending on your conscience level, because once you've sold it, it essentially isn't your problem anymore, and hell, it could last for years or it could die in a month's time. You just don't know. So do you take that risk? For me, kind of selling PCs on, and also to friends and family, etc., and people that I kind of see on a regular basis, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm thinking, do I start upping the prices, upping the quality, in order just to have that kind of peace of mind that things are less likely to go wrong? I don't know. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. It's quite an interesting one to debate, and maybe we'll do a whole video dedicated to this, and maybe even a stream. We'll get some information together and get some thoughts together and see what you think about it. But I don't know, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm almost getting sick and tired of saving money, which sounds like a really weird thing to say, being that that is what I like to do. My whole thing was getting a bargain. But is a bargain if it doesn't work? Because you...
If it costs more in the long run.
If it costs more in the long run, it isn't a bargain. It is an initial bargain. It's that thing. Is it buy once, save twice? No, you know, it's something along those lines. I'm stupid. Aaron says, "Get you on that mic. Cheaper is not always good." Yeah, I think it is. Like, sometimes you can get a bargain. A bargain is a bargain if it's a good thing. So like Bob and the guys for that motherboard earlier, yes, £55 for a B550 motherboard is very good value, and it's where they should be really. But it's nice to finally see that happening on B550 boards. If it was a crap board though, and it was going to fail, then is it such a bargain? Some of some people were saying about the B550 Pro VDH Wi-Fi, the MSI board, which I reviewed and I actually bought. I bought two of them. Both of them have been absolutely fine, and they've been sold on to new owners, and they're working still fine as well, as far as I know. But yeah, a lot of people have problems with those, with them rebooting all the time for no reason and various like crashing. is it because they're a cheap board and they've done exactly what I've just said? Like they've used components cheaply where they shouldn't have done possibly, and it's then made a weakness in the board? I don't know. Possibly it is. Robert Marsden, thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Ugly Bob, yeah. False economy, age-old saying, buy it cheap, buy it twice. Yeah. Bit like Ford or Fiat. Ford is fix or repair daily, and Fiat is... Oh, what was it? I can't remember. Fix it again, Tony. That's it. I don't know. Trooper, see, buy cheap, buy twice. That's the one. Thank you. I can't help it. I'm old. Had2 says, speaking of fans, do you think it's ideal for me to change the 200mm fans out on my Ions Gamer Edition Taio case and swap them for Sahara Gaming's Tornado 200mm and a Pirate Turbo for the outtake?
Fix it again tomorrow.
Yeah, fix it again tomorrow. That's the one. Or Tony. I prefer Tony. I actually sold the case today, the Taio Ions. I did a little build for somebody locally and they took it away. And I said to them at the time, I said, the one thing about this case that doesn't make it perfect is the fact that the fans just are constant RPM. And we're like, okay, it's fine, yeah, it's going to be in the daughter's bedroom, there's going to be loads of noise in there anyway, so yeah, it's absolutely fine. It isn't. When I fired it up in the room, it didn't seem that noisy. Replacing them with the Sahara 200mm fans, I don't know if that's... I don't know really if you're kind of almost replacing like with like. You are getting a little bit more performance out of those Sahara ones because you can adjust the speed. And actually I did have some... Did I have those? I'm sure I had some Sahara 200mm ones. I've got the 140s somewhere. Can't remember. But yeah, potentially you can get better results. And I think I actually struggled with... What did I put them in? I'm sure I had those 200mm Sahara fans. And they didn't work with the PWM for some reason on the controller. Maybe it's 140s. I don't know. Anyway, I'll think about that. Truthfully, I would actually, with the Taio Ions, or the Ion Taio rather, if you're not particularly bothered about them being 200mm fans, I'd be tempted just to replace them with 140s. Something like actually a perfect one would be the InWin Saturns, the 140s. Get a 3-pack, 2 at the front, 1 in the back. I think you've got room for 1 in the back, or you could put it in the top maybe. Absolutely fine, and you'll get a really good airflow on those as well. But yeah, I guess it depends what you want to do. Maybe give the Sahara ones a go and let me know how it gets on. I'd be interested to know what happens actually. That would be good. John Lilly says, not always budget or bargain, but go for value for money and do your research. Yes, I think that is very wise words there. Mark Barry, spend a bit more and no comebacks later. Sold a car to a relation once and regretted it. No end of problems. Yeah, it does happen, doesn't it? Oh, God. What are you doing? Pops? Alright, stand there then. Yeah, she's gone under it. There's a mountain of cases underneath the table, and she likes playing on top of those. Jabant One's with us as well. Says, find a good supplier. My Snowman fans always come well packaged in perfect condition. Yeah, I think that is part of it actually, especially in regards to the fins being damaged. Is the individual sellers find a good one, and if they package them well, then you're off to a winner. Matthew Day, Lotus, lots of trouble, usually serious. I like that one, that's good. Nick Barnes says, totally agree Mike, bought a used MSI A320, didn't realise no CPU backplate, then bought cheap plastic one, did not work, so bought genuine metal backplate, may as well have bought a new one, cost the same in the end. Yeah, that's right, it is exactly. Wild Bill says, sorry Mike, my typing shite. I want to reset to a different SSD M.2 than what the current OS is on at the moment. Right, okay, that's not too bad. What you could do, Bill, with that is, this is a scenario. So if you say, for instance, you've got a hard drive, or you've got an SSD, and you're upgrading to an M.2, or any of those steps that you're doing from one drive to another, but you ideally want a fresh installation, or if you want to clone the drive, use something like Macrium. Macrium Reflect is brilliant. Just plug in both drivers at the same time, boot up Windows as normal, install Macrium, then just clone the drive from one to the other, and then once it's done, turn off the PC, disconnect your old drive, and then your data and everything will be as it should be on the new drive. Then you can decide what to do with the old drive after, maybe keep it for a while just to make sure everything runs as it should do, otherwise you can plug it back in. Yeah, Macrium Reflect, I would say use that, and then once you've done that, then you could potentially, if you wanted to, then do a reset or a restore, or just install Windows again down to the individual. But yeah, Macrium Reflect's always a good one to try with that. We did a video on it which you can check out. I don't think it's going to be linked anywhere, but if you just search in, go to Mike's Unboxing, the main YouTube page, and just type in Macrium. I think we've done 2 or 3 videos on it, so yeah, very easy to do. I use it on a daily basis actually for backing up. It's really good. Oi, Gaff. Little cat's trying to eat the HDMI cables. Better than eating the electrical ones. That could end up like a cartoon moment. It really could.
I know.
Wild Bill says, yeah, I have one M.2 with the OS on it and another with nothing but better M2. Yeah, I think I kind of get where you're coming out with that. Again, if you're not sure, head over to the Discord and we can talk about it. I probably won't be this evening because obviously work tomorrow with Mitch. And I don't want to be too tired, because you'll be complaining I'm not doing enough work. Matthew Day says, once upon a time you could get Molex fan controllers. Yes, you could actually, yeah. The little case mounted ones went into the 5 1/4 or 3.5 inch bays, and you have little rotary dials for them. Markovsky says, I'm still on my small form factor bug, so bling and big fans aren't on my shopping list really. Yeah, that is the downside of having small form factor, is cooling is never really something which you can do easily. Captain White says, can I just mention how good the GameMax Stealth case is at the moment? Less than 30 quid from CCL. Amazing case for that price. I'm trying to think what the GameMax Stealth looks like actually. GameMax Stealth. Did I actually review that? I think I did. Or did I? I'm not sure. I have to have a look into that. Had2 says, already had 4 Sahara fans and the CPU air cooler, so I might go Sahara all the way so they're all connected to the fan controller. In that case, yeah, no chance. Yeah, that's the thing you should do. Not no chance. I mean no chance. That's the best choice I meant to say.
The opposite.
God, words is hard. They really are. Wild Bill says the Arctic 35 will be twice the price of the V5 Vitro. Well, I hope not, because the V5 Vitro is normally about $29.99. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes it's $32.95 here with like a 5% or £5 off voucher, so it brings it down to about 27. So if it's somewhere in the region of that, it's going to be awesome and easier to install. Patrick LaBelle's with us, says hello all. How you doing, Patrick? And Iran says, would you recommend a 250GB or lower M.2 drive for the OS only? Prices here in the Philippines are way too high, and what brand can you recommend? I'm not sure what availability is like in the Philippines. 250GB for an OS drive is fine if it's just for that. I wouldn't really go too much lower. If you put a 120 or 128 in there, after you've installed Windows, which is generally around about 30 gigs with updates and stuff, it kind of starts to feel a little bit constricted. So 240 I think is the smallest I would go these days for an OS if you've got an additional drive. If it's going to be the only drive, I would say you probably want to go a little bit higher, 500 really. But yeah, depends what else you've got going on there. Brand wise, you can't go wrong with things like the Western Digital SN550. Pretty much any of the Western Digital Blues are good. Those are definitely worth a look. Sometimes you can get offers from, what is the site? Is it Crucial? Crucial often have offers on, and sometimes even refurbs, which technically aren't refurbs because you can't really refurbish a drive. Who else was there? TC Sunbow is always a good one. Asino, if you can get them. If you can get them on Amazon and they deliver to the Philippines, I'm not sure which Amazon you'd use, whether you use the global store, possibly. But yeah, any of those would be absolutely fine. James Miscellaneous says, I don't care at all for Alder Lake. Do you feel the same, Mike? first DDR5, first Z5 690 boards, new CPU with E-cores, and a new OS to put on it. Guinea pig build, yeah. Alder Lake is one of those things that it's going to be good for the industry in general, because I think there's going to be obviously the kind of that tier of people which just want it because it's new and because potentially it's going to have pretty decent performance. So there will be those who will be early adopters and they'll be straight in for it. So that means if they're early adopters, they've probably got kit that they've got already. So obviously they are going to pass that kit on, and then it ends up into the used market, which benefits most of us because then we can buy the previous top tier kit for obviously less money, because most of the people that upgrade to Alder Lake, they got a few quid, so they don't care about losing a couple of £100 on a setup. They're not bothered at all. So yeah, we benefit, and it all goes down the line. You know, it's like you get that upgrade chain where kind of you upgrade, then your wife gets an upgrade, your kids get an upgrade, their friends get an upgrade, and it just goes through that whole chain. So I think it's good from that point of view. I'm not entirely convinced that a new platform with new RAM and with a new operating system seems like a lot to do in one go. I think it's going to be, well, I don't think it's going to be necessarily problematic. There'll be teething issues, there always is. If it goes entirely smooth straight away, I would call foul play. And I would say that Windows 11 was designed for those chips and that setup, which I don't believe necessarily it is. But yeah, if it comes out and it's really, really quick and it runs like an absolute dream, then I would say, yeah, something doesn't smell quite right there. But anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I'm not particularly excited about it, I've got to be honest with you. Unless there's some cheap processors, which there won't be, and there's not going to be any cheap RAM, and the boards aren't going to be cheap, so it's going to be at least a year before we start seeing kind of mid-tier stuff, which is going to be what I would say probably the majority of us are going to be looking for. All right. Captain White says the Stealth shares the same chassis as the F15, but it has a closed off front and uses negative airflow. Medium airflow, but absolutely fine for modest builds. Yeah, there's quite a few cases I found on the market which actually use the same chassis as the F15 and the Lianli 215. Bizarrely, there's a company in the UK called eBuyer, and they have a range of cases from which they call Neutron Labs, which is their kind of in-house brand. Pretty much all of the Neutron Labs cases use the same chassis as the F15 and the Lianli 215, but with different front panels and different combinations and different fan setups. So potentially, if you're after that sort of case, then it's worth looking at. Worth looking at those, definitely. Sorry, the cat's attacking everything. Reality Dog says, Mike, when you transition to Windows 11 on at least one machine, did you use drivers originally made for Windows 10? Does it matter? Yes, I think I probably did, actually. Yeah, I think the first machine I upgraded to Windows 11 actually was on Windows 10 drivers. So I didn't update any drivers, it just updated and it used its own drivers. So yeah, in effect it did. And I don't think it made much difference. Although that was the early kind of the pre-release for the insiders. So yeah, it wasn't great anyway. Patrick LaBelle says, forget Alder Lake, the new Tensor processor is in the new Pixel 6. Might not be a benchmark beast, but the AI stuff, damn, it is scary. Yes, it is. It is. Gunning 24/7 says, how can I get the best performance out of a 1660 Super? Well, most of the time now, NVIDIA stuff will boost as much as it can by default. That's the way it's designed to work. So the best thing to do is to make sure you've got plenty of airflow, nice cold air coming into the case. Repaste in the CPU, the GPU rather. Get some decent thermal paste, repaste it. Generally the paste that comes on the standard stuff isn't the best. So just changing the thermal paste and possibly even the thermal pads on the GPU will generally give you better performance. And I think we've shown that in a couple of videos. You can of course use, actually Arctic MX5 would be pretty good for that because of its really good consistency. And if you spread it over places where it's not meant to go, it isn't going to electrocute stuff. So yeah, I think there's links in the video description.
Not for MX5.
No, probably not actually. Right, that's all the questions done. Right, let's have a look at some more bits and pieces. So the next one's going to be the Gelid Frore. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure if it is or not. So we've reached out to Gelid. We had a bit of a quiet spell, and it's like, have you got anything for us that is interesting and different that we could take a look at? So this is, well, they call it the ultimate CPU cooler with smart PWM fan. It's kind of what I would consider for small form factor builds, or if you haven't got a lot of room. So airflow wise, you're looking at a maximum of 37.9 CFM, hydrodynamic bearing. Dimensions are in millimeters. This is 98 by 66 by 121. So basically it's a 121 mil tool. So will fit into pretty much any case. Fan connector, 4-pin PWM. Fan dimensions are 92 by 92 by 25. So it's a 92 mil fan. Speed is 900 to 2000 RPM, noise level max 20 dBA, which I call bullshit on because it's louder than that in this room without actually doing anything. So yeah, that's lies. Static pressure is 1.55 and it comes with a 3-year warranty. Now the reason I wanted this is because actually that case behind me, when I'm doing certain testing, it's very difficult to use a traditional air cooler and get the side panels on. And also there's some other cases which we've got coming which potentially you might need a slightly smaller CPU cooler. So this thing is absolutely tiny. So if you look at it, it looks like it's a shrunken cooler. I'll put the overhead on so you can see it a little bit better. So it looks absolutely tiny in comparison. So let's look at the Arctic box. So look at the size of the box comparatively. It's much smaller. It's about 3/4 size, maybe even less than that.
You compare it to the other box.
So you've got, oh yeah, I should do really. Anyway. So nice black anodized finish, which is always a good thing. Quite lightweight. It's only got 2 U-shape heat pipes on there, 2 6mm heat pipes, and actually a very nice finish on the base plate there. Very smooth, so that's always a good sign. We like that. PWM connection for the fan, nicely braided as well. All blacked out cabling, which is braided and blacked out for some reason. Don't know why you do that, but still. What intrigued me about this was the actual mounting mechanism. So you've got the push pin kind of design, so the AMD stock setup, but you've actually got 2 spring clamps on both sides, which I thought was really unusual. So that's going to give you a more even pressure because you've got them on both sides rather than one being the one that you attach first of all and then kind of lever the other one down. So I was actually really interested to see that. And also for slightly more budget builds, this cooler comes in at somewhere around about the sort of £15 mark. So it is going to be definitely an upgrade. Some places I've seen as low as £9.99. So again, it is extremely cheap for what it is. It's only got 2 heat pipes, but it's all been finished really nicely, which is the one thing which actually stood out from the whole thing, is the fact that even though it is a cheap cooler, like the Snowman version of this 92mm is basically all silver exposed and it just doesn't look very nice. Whereas this actually, it's got that really nice stealthy black powder coating look to it, which is really, really nice. And the fans are just clipped on the sides, actually, ouch, very strongly. And it's going to get some pretty decent static pressure because of the smaller fan anyway. It's a 7-blade design, so yeah, it should be good. It's a Silent 9, so it is, again, another thing which is really good is the fact that it is going to be particularly quiet, because Gelid fans generally are very quiet. If anyone has tried out the Phantom Black, which is exceptionally, well, quiet, and that is basically a Noctua D15 competitor in the making there. So anyway, that is that one. Again, we'll do some reviews on that. I don't know whether we'll do an entire video on that or whether we'll do a comparison against maybe some of the cheaper Snowman ones, but I thought it'd be interesting for you guys to take a look at. It does come with Intel mounting kit. Unfortunately, it's obviously going to be only 775, 1156 and kind of 1155, 1200 and all that kind of stuff. The 115X range, so yeah. Comes with a sachet of sorry about that. Gelid's compound. That's broken, don't buy that. I'll have to try and remember what it's called now. Is it ice? Gelid ice? Ooh, and it comes with a plastic spatula as well. Oh no, it's the GC Pro. Gelid Compound Pro. Yeah, and it comes with that little spreader. So yeah, just a nice little kit. If you've got a relatively lowish TDP processor, I guess any of the 65 watt TDP processors are going to be fine with that sort of thing. 2 heat pipes on there, and it's definitely going to be an improvement, at least in terms of noise, over the stock fans with either AMD or Intel. So anyway, I thought that might be of interest to some of you. Maybe not to many, but there you go. Now, how does this thing actually go back in there? Will it go back in there? Mike's reboxing. Hey, that actually, hey, that's almost worked out. I've done well there. Oh no, I put it in the wrong way. Damn it. Better. If you're going to do something, do it properly. Okay, so there we go. What are your thoughts on the Gelid Black Frore? Is that Frore? I'm guessing it's Frore. What does that mean? Is any of our German viewers in? I'm sure it is. Possibly, is that a German word? Black Frore? Well, black obviously isn't, but Frore? Maybe it's Swedish or something. Not sure. Let me know in the comments. I've no idea. Okay, next up we'll take a quick look at these Hakii headphones. So you might have seen these already. I'm pretty sure I've actually done these before. These are the Hakii Classics, the Hakii Time Classic. Truly wireless ANC earbuds with charging case, so these active noise cancelling. And I'm pretty sure I have used these already. Yes, they do, because they have the transparent mode, which was brilliant. So yeah, noise cancelling with the various features. So you've got total noise cancelling. You've got the sort of pass-through mode.
Frore is German for frozen.
Ah, Frore is German for frozen. Thank you.
But people think it's
nice. So yeah, transparency mode was excellent, because then if someone come up and started chatting to you, just press and tap on the side, and you can basically, it pipes the outside voice in through the headphones, so you don't have to take your headphones off to listen to somebody else, which is excellent. And they had a nice sound profile to them as well, which is good. So that is why I'm hoping that these are going to be good as well. So these are the Hakii Action. So these are more for sporty types, like myself, obviously. And these are, Calf's laughing there. So these are wireless charging, so you can just charge it from the bottom there. Just place it onto a wireless QI charger and they will charge up. And inside you've got these two buds. You've got the little bits that wrap around your ear. So if you're moving and grooving or whatever you're doing, running, working out, then they're not going to come flying off. And they do have, what I've been told, are 10mm drivers in there, down inside there, which are using some kind of diamond technology. So I'm actually interested to hear what they sound like. In theory, if the specs on the box are anything to go by, they should sound absolutely amazing. But yeah, we'll try those. That's all nice and magnetic, so when you put them away, they just lock into place and close. A little bit of a big container or charging case. Apparently, from what I can tell, you get 9 hours of battery life from a full charge, plus an additional 2 extra charges from the battery bank in here, and it charges on USB Type-C. Nice and easy to reset as well. There is a reset button on the bottom, which you can just press and hold. And I'm guessing if you press and hold, you should get some sort of LEDs appearing somewhere. No, I haven't even read the instructions. I should do, I guess. We'll find out. Anyway, there you go. So that is the Hakii USB Type-C. Not noise cancelling in terms of active noise cancelling, but they do have the Qualcomm Bluetooth 5.2 chip, I believe, which is, well, actually there's specs there. So truly wireless. Latest Bluetooth version 5.2 with truly wireless mirroring technology with roll switch. Comfort secure fits, yep, we saw that. Up to 36 hours of battery, so 9 hours playtime plus 3 chargings on the case, sorry, better than 2. Waterproof IPX7, so that is basically you can wear them in the shower. And premium sound, 10mm DLC dynamic drivers deliver stunning deep bass. And they're APTX or AAC codec, so suitable for Apple devices and APTX devices. And adaptive for microphones CVC 8.0 noise cancelling technology. That's a Qualcomm noise cancelling chip for phone calls. So yeah, awesome stuff. Looking forward to taking a closer look at those in the coming days. Right, what should we have a look at next? What do you reckon? Motherboards? Actually, I'm going to drink some of my tea. Actually, should I have a beer instead? Yeah, go on. Let's have a Newcastle Brown Ale. Let's have one of those. Ugly Bob says, "Ooh, they are smart." Awesome. I like to think that they are. Ugly Bob says, "4 is German for frozen." Excellent. I hate reboxing. Never get it right. Yeah, go on. I'll have a Mike's unboxing glass, please, for me. Fred Brown says, "Beer, yes."
What other type of glasses though?
Simon Artis says, "Hey, turned in late again, busy life, lol." No worries. That feels warm. Has that been in the fridge? How dare you? Although saying that, Newcastle Brown Ale, I used to always drink it warm. Trooper C says, "I'm DIYing." Awesome. Cheers, Bob. Thanks for sending us Newcastle Brown Ale.
Thank you, Bob.
I have not tried this in a long time. I think the last time I drank this in anger was in the 90s. And yeah. I'm pretty sure I liked it.
I had to buy a bottle, didn't I, to make that pie?
Yeah, sausage and bean pie from Get Stuff. Ofsky says, "You got to drink Nuki Brown out of a bottle." Yeah, because people used to refer to it as Nuki Brown, and I always thought it was Nuki as in Cornwall, but it's obviously Newcastle. Choose what I know. When it comes to beverages, I am somewhat of an imbecile. I really am. Cheers, everybody.
You didn't mean DIY and you meant dying.
Oh, he's dying. Oh, he's dying, BRB. Oh, I have a cramp in his leg. I get you. I thought you were DIYing. Yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you, Bob. It's got that real kind of hoppy taste. Calf? Okie dokie. Right, where else we... Irie Wolfman says, "Newcastle is cheap, or am I wrong?" I have no idea. I was chatting to somebody the other day, actually I think it was Mitch. I was chatting to him about drinks, because he had the his app on his phone. You pay for drinks on the app, apparently. Who would know? And he drank something like 16 pints. I was like, bloody hell, that must have cost a lot. How much is a pint these days? Like £3 or £4? He's like, no, 5. It's like, what? £5 for a pint?
It was a pint the last time, wasn't it?
That was exactly what I said. I said the last time that me and Kath went out drinking properly to actually go out and get ruined, we used to drink in a labour club, and it was £1 a pint for majority of the night. And we still managed to get wrecked very easily on like a £5. We were lightweights. Come on. Darren's with us, says, "Hi Mike, time to get the party on." Yeah, the party, well, our daughter's gone to a rave or something tonight.
Festival, I think it's called.
Festival, that's the one. Right. It's quite nice. It's quite quite heavy but light at the same time. Right, let's have a look at these motherboards. Now, motherboards I bought today.
Our Wolfman can remember getting a pint on the Isle of Man for 40p.
Wow. That is pretty good.
Markovsky, £20 was a great night out of chips home. Miss Millers.
Yeah, we would have Miss Millers and then go back to Chinese
£1.20,
after.
didn't it, for a chicken burger with cheese?
Don't. Just don't. Right, these I bought today. These were a particular bargain. Now, they were from a... well, the guy maintains... I haven't tested these yet, so we've got that to come yet. The guy sold them saying that they came from a auction. So he actually was listing an absolute ton of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And they did actually have auction tags on them from johnpie.co.uk, I think it was, or John Pyle, something along those lines anyway. Jonathan Pyle, I don't know. I peeled the labels off anyway. Oh, better move that, because otherwise the cat will be having that. So these were marked up as £15 each. And at £15 each for motherboards in the box with the bits, I struggled to say no. Now, I think I've already reviewed this one before. I'm not sure if I did or not. I think I probably did.
I think you did.
I think I did. And it was actually quite a popular video. A lot of people watched it, so there must be a market out there for this board. So when I saw this one as well, the B450M Pro M2 Max.
John Pye Auctions, Amazon Returns.
Ah, John Pye Auctions, Amazon Returns. Thank you, Tech Check. That's what we wanted to know. That's good information. So, yeah, £15 each. I think I got a bargain. I just saw Google. And from what I can tell, other than the boxes being slightly marked, they look like they're brand new. Now the box doesn't appear to be anything wrong with it at all, and actually SATA cables still in their bags, the AIO shield still sealed, all the accessories appear to be there. So we've got the driver DVD, all the usual stuff in there, all these bits and pieces. Even the MSI logo is still in its bag, not entirely surprising. The board itself doesn't appear, I did open it just to make sure that it was A-OK. Well, nothing damaged, but it looks...
Another one looked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Let's do the overhead. So, to me, it looks like pristine. There's not a mark of dust on it or anything. And looking at the sort of telltale signs of where you'd look, I don't think it's actually ever been installed. None of the actual kind of little metal bits around the holes there look to be... I don't think they've been touched. And the RAM slot things all seem to be closed. There doesn't appear to be a speck of dust or any kind of residue around the CPU area at all. Just double checking that. No, it looks absolutely perfect.
It's not had a chip in.
I don't think it has I don't think it's ever had a chip in it. It doesn't look like it's ever been used. Now, whether that's because it doesn't work, so they've never put a chip in it, but you'd have to put a chip in it to actually ascertain whether it works or not. The only thing I noticed there is a bit of greasy, there's a bit of grease or sticky stuff at the top there, which feels, it actually feels sticky. So whether there's been a sticker on the top or, I don't know. There's definitely something on the board there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up.
No VRM.
No, there's no VRM heat sinks on this. Realistically, this board is not designed for anything more than like a 65 watt processor. You can, it does, if you go on their website, it does actually state what processors you can use, and they do state that you can put on here like a 3950 if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but it certainly says you can. But yeah, it looks like it's, I don't think it's ever been used. It looks perfect. Well, from all the motherboards I've unboxed, it's actually been the same. Oh, got an update, yes, Kath?
Tech check.
Tech check. Mike John Pye have 50 pallets worth of day electricals from Amazon. I organised this. Ah, that's interesting. Mr. Handtech says, who thinks Mike should do a fancy dress stream tomorrow? I do one every day. I dress as a slightly aging, balding, fat Bristolian. It's my alter ego. In that case, Tech Check, you better get in contact with me because I'm interested in this sort of stuff. I'd actually buy a pallet, I think, just for the crack.
I'd burn the pallet.
That'd really upset Kath.
I wouldn't. I want the pallet.
So, actually, I think I do know what I was missing, possibly. The M.2 screw. That could be the deal breaker. Oh, damn it! It's there. Brand new in the packaging. So yeah, I don't think this is, I don't know. I don't know how it works with Amazon. If they get a board and it gets sent out and the customer sends it back, does it automatically go into the kind of the we can't sell this pile, or normally they would sell it on, wouldn't they, as a return? So I don't quite get how this has come to be, unless it's like overstocks, which somebody just didn't want. Simon Arden says the 5600G is be banging for it. Well, that is what I've kind of coming on to next. Ugly Bob, bless his cotton socks, actually sent us a case this week, which is the Aerocool Atomic, which is a micro ATX board box.
Sing.
I can't sing, and that is likely. Well, I'm gonna have to do a build on it, but I didn't have any micro ATX boards. And then I was thinking, well, what realistically would you put into something like that? And then I was thinking motherboards and processors. So this week, well, today actually, I bought a Ryzen 3 1200 for £65 off CEX. I probably said that earlier in the stream, I think. I can't remember if I did or not. But anyway, so these two boards, I'm not too sure which way I'm going to go with it. Depending on what the case is like, I could end up going with the A320 board and something like the Ryzen 3 1200, or potentially I'm almost tempted to use this board with the 5600G, and that might make a nice little system, but I don't know. I am still internally deliberating on it, but I think for £15, because a lot of people, when I say to people I've just bought a motherboard, I bought a Ryzen 3 1200, most people are probably like, why would you want to do that? And I totally understand, but you try getting an Intel motherboard for 15 quid. It is pretty much impossible. If I could buy cheap Intel boards, I would buy Intel processors like the 10105, or maybe the 10100, or 10400 even, because they offer really good bang for bucks. But yeah, for £15, this is insane. Dutch Jan says put a Ryzen 5 2400G on it. You can't get them. You just cannot get them. I've been looking today, 2400G, 3400G. Well, you can get them, but they're just ridiculously priced. They're about £220, I think, which is way, way too much. But I'm thinking with this, I've got a GTX 660, 3GB. I think with the Ryzen 3 1200, that is going to make a lovely, lovely little system. Or maybe, like Simon said there, the GT 1030. That sounds like a good shout. That could actually work. Actually, why is that not working? Oh. What's that? Oh, Bob. Bob, I've already got it. I got it for free. Sorry. Bob will know exactly what I'm talking about. Fred Brown says 3000G are going cheap now. No, they're not. I can't find one for less than like 65 quid.
Should you be on the other camera?
No, that's fine. Right, so anyway, that is the B450M Pro M.2 Max. And then we've got this sack of spanners. This is, well, you can probably see what it is. A320M-A Pro. This I was less sure about. But again, it's 15 quid. Even if I can use it just as a test bed, I might even make a PC out of it. You never know. This one appears to be in a almost identical situation as well. So it looks basically brand new. I can't see a single mark on it. Doesn't appear to be anything on it. Now this isn't the Max version, sadly. This is just the Pro version. It's not particularly well endowed in terms of ports, but you've got 6 USBs, which I guess is okay these days. You've got gigabit LAN, HDMI, DVD, and a couple of PS2 ports should you wish to use them. But yeah, everything looks okay. I can't see that there's any... Normally, if you look at a board, you'll see there's pins which are bent. And everything on there looks absolutely spot on. Just doing a quick visual, although saying that I did a quick visual on one before, then I worked out that it didn't have a SATA connection because it was snapped off. Clearly this board is pretty pants. You've only got a 4-pin EPS connector, you've only got a single CPU fan header, and you've only got a single sys fan header. So something like that Arctic, what's it called thing would be very useful. So yes, very very different. Again, £15. Like, I can't look a gift horse in the mouth, and for £15, like, even if I end up giving it away to someone because they need a motherboard, I'd be happy in the knowledge that I'd actually brought some happiness into somebody's life for £15. Because normally it costs more than that. Again, it comes with all the bits, everything was in there. IO shield. If you have to replace an IO shield on a motherboard, like, these will cost you a tenner. So in theory, I could just sell the IO shields on eBay and make back most of my money.
Marvo asked if both of the IO shields they did, didn't we?
Yes, both IO shields. That was the first thing I checked. I didn't check them to see if they actually worked. I checked for IO shields because I figured that was the way to go forward. And yeah, for 15 quid each. Come on, like, really? £30 for 2 motherboards. Simon Arden. 5600G I can get for you for 150 quid. Give us a shout if you want one. Sign me up. I'll have a couple.
Please.
Please. Sorry.
To my mother.
Kath is correcting me there. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll have some of that. 5600G for 150 bucks. That's some good stuff there. Right, what have we got next, Catherine? Hey, Pops. Like a motherboard? Good boards. Which one? Which one should we use? Which board? Which one are we going to do the build in? You going to do this one? Alright. Come back.
Beer.
She wants the new key. You smell hops? You're alcoholic already? Well done. Come on. Which one?
You've got the wrong camera.
Markovsky says, didn't notice, do both have IO shields? Yes, they do. Yeah, both got that. Poppy to shoulder, yeah. Pretty good. Right, let's move on. So we've seen the motherboards. We'll be doing some stuff with those.
Nothing left on this box.
Oh, easy, Tiger. Easy. Right. Let's have it. See what I did there? Because it says Havit. Hello, thanks for choosing Havit. Now, this was actually sent to us by a certain young fella called Mr. Bob. And this is the HV KB 558CM UK layout. Gaming mouse keyboard kits. Interesting description. How do we actually get into this? Ow! 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 Cat! Poppy! Stop it! You're a very bad monkey. Right, are you done? Go away! It's typical, whenever you actually, when I want you to be like here, you run a mile. Come on. What's in here, peeps? What do you reckon? Like a keyboard? Mmm, shiny. Do you like? Poppy likes it. Oh yeah, don't stand on there. Did I even turn that keyboard on? No, I didn't. That's good. Right, Poppy, sit down there. Be good. Christ, there's a bit of a delay on that. Hmm?
Trooper's off.
Cheers, Trooper. And thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the membership, etc. Right, Poppy, go away. Go away. Okay, so let's start off with the keyboard. So this is, I'm assuming is not a mechanical. No, not the switch. The keys don't want to come off, so that pretty much says it's not. No, I'm not going to try and wrench this off. So this is a membrane style keyboard. This is their Magic Eagle from the Havit game series. Basically a cost-effective kind of cheap way, I guess you'd say, of getting a gaming look on a keyboard. So again, if you're flipping systems or I don't know, whatever, maybe you've got a spare PC and someone's using it and you don't want to have their grubby fingers all over your nice clean PC. I need my extension. Then this is a way to go. I quite often like to have a spare keyboard and mouse around just in case. Poppy, go away! For God's sakes.
She's so fast.
Calf, you should be cat sitting. What's the matter? You've been absent from your duties.
She wants your bear.
Go away! Right, let's plug the keyboard in and see what lights we get. And try not to accidentally end the stream.
She's hunting for a
So
mouse.
what do we get in terms of RGB? So it appears we get fixed RGB, which actually I don't mind. I'm actually quite happy with that. Is that fixed or is it moving? I can't tell. No, that is fixed, isn't it? And do we have the option to change the... Looking for the function keys. There's function keys. So, oh, yeah, we got. So we've got a fade. Although I'm believing the it's basically just a backlit keyboard and the unicorn puke is all in one place. So solid or flash. And that is it. And I'm guessing if we use, yeah, we've got a couple of levels of brightness. So you can just turn it off if you want to, if you just want a reasonably nice keyboard to type on. I quite like the look of it actually. Got some feet on the bottom as well, so you can raise it up. You raise me up. We won't do that. So a little bit of a rest on the front there. And
Next to you, please.
yeah, those, they feel quite nice actually. Quite a nice spring to them. Yeah, it sounds alright. Are you actually getting that noise? Let me take my mic off a minute. So I'll put my mic literally there, so you should be able to pick it up.
Faster.
I can. That sounds remarkably solid actually.
Pretend you're playing track and field.
If I'm playing track and field or
Or the hurdles.
hurdles on Hypersports.
Space bar to jump.
No, because I'll end the stream. So yeah. That actually sounds pretty decent. I'm not going to say I'm surprised because it's good. Yeah, Captain Robbie says it sounds quite smooth. It does actually. Mike's keyboard ASMR Emporium. It's not bad. Now with more sausage. James! Damn it! So, hotkeys, you've got obviously my computer, internet and email. It's quite good. Although I think I would have probably preferred maybe volume up, volume down and play pools possibly.
Calculator.
But those are actually good. Calculator is always one that I miss. Yeah, I do miss that. You've actually got a Windows lockout as well. So function key in Windows locks out the Windows key. So for gamers, that's handy. But yeah, I quite like it. Caps lock and number lock. Yeah, we got red LEDs on there for that. So yeah, it's all right. Where are we? Function and lights. So, oh, is that the one? Oh, I'm ow, bastard cat! Jesus!
You're too fast.
Poppy, stop it, you lunatic! Jesus.
You're not having the beer.
So anyway, yeah, that's quite a nice looking little keyboard. Not a great deal to speak of on the back. No cable management routes. I guess you wouldn't really expect that anyway at this sort of price. And you've got some feet there. No rubber pads on the feet. No rubber on the tool. Got a little rubber pad on the front now. So yeah, it's all right. Again, for a budget bundle, actually pretty decent. And thinking about it, bundling this with something like the case we got going on, a little budget build, I think that's going to work out quite nice. So let's have a look at the next part of the kit. I I'm not too sure actually how much this costs. Bob, could you maybe fill us in on that in the comments? What sort of price this is for a set? I'm guessing it's got to be around about the 25-30 quid mark. That would be the norm, I guess, for a kit of this kind of thing. Now the mouse is one of those things where it looks very, very similar.
Made in China?
Yeah, clearly everything's made in China. Anything that isn't made in China is made in China. This mouse, I think, is exactly the same as the one that used to come in the Cooler Master bundle, which was the Master Keys Lite, I think it was called. Ow! Master Keys Lite L. Poppy, calm down, you lunatic. You need to go to sleep. And the reason I say that is because the scroll wheel is almost identical, I think, to that, and the shape as well. The shape and the weight and everything just feels the same, and even the side buttons are in the same place. And I used that mouse for ages. Mate, oh my god, that cat! Stop! Stop giving the cat crack. Let's plug it in and see what it's like. Ooh, that's quite nice. That's quite bright actually as well. Now I'm pretty sure that there isn't any way to change the lighting on this. You can change the DPI, so that's going to flash a couple of times, and then go back to rainbow puke. So yeah, this is going to be a rainbow puke kind of deal. So it's probably what, 5 DPI settings, yeah. And red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 5 DPI settings, which is, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same as the Master Keys Lite set, just rebranded for Havit. Nice ambidextrous mouse, so left and right-handed, a couple of back and forward buttons on the side, so that's pretty decent. But yeah, feels like an overall nice mouse, and it's going to be difficult to click now because I've got it plugged into the computer, so... Ooh. Actually, yeah, that's... comparatively, between using my Logitech mouse, which granted isn't the best, like this thing tracks like absolute poop on the desk, it really does, whereas this, it's like, wow, all over the place. Simon Arden. Show us the mouse. I am.
No, don't.
Oh, right. The mouse is the same in all the Havits. Daughter has one. It's tested. 12 months plus, not bad for a cheapo. Yeah, it seems alright. You can download software for the RGB. That's interesting.
And then Wild Bill.
Wild Bill, do you ever do reviews on printers, Mike? I have done. Yeah, we did one on the Epson XP245, which has actually been brilliant. It's lasted years. James Brock says, good evening one and all. How you doing, James Brock? So yeah, overall, I think that's actually a really nice mouse. For me, that's a really nice shape. I know I'd probably say it's about a few mice, but I do see a lot of mice. But this has got that really nice kind of flared, tapered back edge, so it's really supportive for your palm. There's no finger rest as such, but it doesn't really need one because it's quite compact. And the scroll wheel rather, is pretty responsive. A little bit mushy. Nice click to it though. And the left mouse. And the right. So yeah, that's actually pretty decent. I like that. Happy days. Right, excellent. So I think we've seen as much as we need to on that. Nice one, Bob. He does find these things which are, you'd think, in theory, like if you were to look at a product called Havit, you automatically think it's going to be one of those cheapo Chinese things which is going to be absolutely useless. But give it its due, actually pretty decent stuff. What the hell does she know?
She's playing with the toggle in your camera bag, it's alright.
Oh God.
She's over here, it's okay.
Being a parent is hard work.
grandparent.
Being a grandparent is worse. Was that Bob's saying, oh, I was holding Poppy in my hand and honestly 1 second later she was standing on my shoulders. Yeah, she's full of beans, literally. Literally full of beans.
Really.
Yeah, she should be asleep by now.
Computer Geek's been a sub since 2018.
Oh, thank you, Computer Geek. Where's Computer Geek? I can't see that on there. Oh, that's because I've scrolled too far down. So I've been playing with a mouse. There we go. Computer Geek. I like that RGB keyboard though. Good. Glad to hear it.
Simon Arden's put the link for the
software. Oh right, excellent. Thank you. Havit HK downloads. So you can actually change the RGB on the mouse. That's interesting. I would have, if it was down to me, well, because I haven't obviously researched it particularly because it's only just come out of the box, I would have thought that was just a static thing, but yeah, if there is software for it, that's pretty awesome. Although saying that, I quite like, for me when I'm selling stuff, it's actually really nice to be able to leave it on just unicorn puke, because that way then when they say, how do I change the colours, you can just say, you can't. You're stuck with it. Enjoy.
Fred Brown says cats wake up at night.
Yeah, this.
Two others in this room.
We got.
They're quick to sleep.
Yeah, we got 4 cats in total now, and the other 3 are basically in a coma.
Maze is awake.
Right, so the time is getting on. We'll do the case last. I was going to do the Marvo keyboard and mouse, so actually I'll leave it to you guys in the chat. What would you rather see next? Would you rather see the Marvo keyboard and mouse, or would you rather see the Aerocool case? Let me know. I'm going to pack this away a minute. You discuss it amongst yourselves. And I'll try in vain to try and get this to go back in. Sorry?
Well, actually, it's a bit delayed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 20-second delayed. It's not easy. Oh, I've still got that on the screen. Captain Robius is saying the case.
Put it in my pocket, Mabes. There we go.
Oh, there's instructions. That'll be handy. How to type. What if they got instructions on how to create an unboxing channel? I could do with that. Oh, come on, get in there. Oh, it's that bit. Oh, I'm going to smash this to pieces. There we go. Whew. This reboxing lark's hard work. Right, where did that go? Oh, is that something that goes in there? Oh! Oh, Havit. That is that. That goes in the box. Mike's reboxing. You can join today. Right, let's have a look and see what's going on. So case. Riley says the Havit has a weakness, getting it back in the box. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Case. Simon says, supposed to force it back in the box and say, have it! Have it, you bastard! Right, let's do the case then, shall we? Is that the general consensus? I think it is. Okay. This could be traumatic. So let's see. I've got to try and get it out of the. I've not opened it at all yet. This is completely pristine in the box. I better take the sticker off the side actually, because it's got my address on there. Although saying that, most of you probably know it by now. Of the 4 or 5 viewers that we've got, you've probably all been here. Most of you are probably family.
Let me just get cleaning.
Oh, they've used that really sticky sticker, which leaves residue. I wish they wouldn't do that. Greta would not be happy.
Which camera you got? Top one there.
Front one.
There's flamey. Oh, don't jump around.
Yeah, don't break stuff.
It's a delay flame, sorry.
Is that going to go in the bin? No, clearly not.
That's flamey.
Oh, that's giving her something to play with anyway. Right, there we go. You've seen flame. You've paid your money. Hello, Dave Price. How you doing? Okay, so no surprises what this actually is. This is the Aerocool Atomic. What? There was a Blondie song called Atomic, wasn't there? Can't remember it. I don't know the words because I'm not old enough. Mini tower case, high performance mini tower case with a mesh front. Fully tempered glass, side panel with a convenient hinge mechanism, blah, 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 blah. 2 rubber cable grommets and 2 cable pass-through tubes on the motherboard tray allow for efficient cable management whilst keeping your cables neat and secure, like Midure. On the back, usual stuff. Who's that come from? Oh, this has come from CMS Distribution in Castleford. So I need to get rid of that sticker. Yep, I guess that is an affirmative. So let's get this thing out of the box and see what the bloody heck's going on. David Aitken, £5 super chat, says, "What's up? Fashionably late. Hi to the Mub crew." How you doing, Dave? Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Who's it said that? Jim Carrey, wasn't it? In the oh, what was the film called? Can't think what it was called now. The Truman Show. I like that, The Truman Show. I sometimes feel like I'm in it, but I'm not Truman. Okay. The Trojans with us. Hi Trojan. He says, "I have a couple of those Havit keyboards. It's a year or so old. My mouse is different though. It's $50 here. Sorry, Australian dollars here, but not bad." And Ugg says, "Yes, The Truman Show." Oh God, tired and silly. Right, let's try and flip this out with not hitting the camera, as is often the case. See what I did there? Electric shock time. Ah, you fucker. That hurts. Oh, I hate it when I get electric shocks off the case. There goes the demonetization as well. Bugger. Oh dear. God, that was a hell of a zap on there. If only I was wearing my anti-static strip, I would have been saved from that pain. I keep on forgetting which camera's on. It's that one there. I'm going to get demonetized for that, for using, I don't even know what tune that is. What's that from?
Something.
High Chaparral or some shit like that? Oh, this case is staticky as a mother thingy. Right. There we go. Finally. Oh, what a noob I am at times. Well, actually most of the time.
Bob paid extra for that electric.
Bob paid extra for the shock, you swine. That is unkind.
Bonanza.
Bonanza. That's going to be the noise that goes through my head when I hear something which is absolutely ridiculous and totally unbelievable. That is going to be the tune that is going to play through my head. I'm actually going to download that and put it onto the stream thing. So when I hear it, it's going to be. Is that even working? Is that working? I can't tell if it's working. You have to let me know if it's working. I turned my speakers off on there so it doesn't come out.
That's money.
The golden money. That's working, is it? Great, I can't hear it. So I'm going to get Bonanza theme tune on there. So when someone tries to tell me something which is untrue and I do not believe it, Actually, this is the first time I've seen the front of that case. That looks pretty nice. That is actually quite a design statement. I'll be honest with you, and I will be honest with you because that is what I do, or at least I try to as much as I possibly can. I thought, now Bob, don't take this the wrong way, but I thought this was going to look shit. That is being completely honest with you. Aerocool stuff, generally, I would consider as being like a bargain basement stuff. But this actually looks amazing. I like it. That angular front, there's something quite stylish about that. And a TG side panel with a little pull-out poppy thing.
Like that little silver handle.
The silver handle bit is adhesive, so potentially you could actually remove that if you wanted to give it a slightly cleaner look.
Give it a locker or something a bit less, a bit more discreet.
I could put a Ring doorbell on there. Ding 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 ding. That would be what we want. That's going to be it. So we get instructions, and it shows on there a graphics card. For those of you that don't know what one of those looks like anymore, this one appears to be a Titan, believe it or not. So you got to stick your Titans in there, whatever you do. Oh, actually, that's pretty good because.
Please don't shut yours in that door.
Sorry.
Careful you don't shut yours in the door.
My Titan. Don't shut your Titan in the door when you close it because those things will hurt. So actually, considering this is just a case, it comes with some decent instructions. It tells you where to plug things in for the front panel. It tells you what the HD audio and the USB 3.0 is. Shows you how to install the different bits and pieces. Okay. You got my attention now. So glass side panel, we'll take that off. That come off particularly easily. Very happy with that. And actually that's a rather cavernous interior, he says. So let's give you the overhead on that one. So having a look inside. Hopefully it's not going to be too dark. Oh, the funky pigeon. I've got the right thing for that.
Don't get too overexcited.
I'm excited now, you can tell. So I've got my pen.
Your pen, a torch.
My torch pen thing. Let's zoom out a bit. So now you can see inside it properly. Nice big cutout there. You can apparently fit coolers of up to, I think it's like 185 mil. So some big coolers in there. That's pretty cool. So radiator in there. There is an offset on the top, but the motherboard tray is quite high. So radiator wise, yeah, sort of 240 mil easy, 280, you might struggle. Rubber grommets, blimey. I haven't seen rubber grommets in a case for a long time. That's quite nice. That's a nice case. I was expecting it to be a bit of a cheapo.
Careful with the beam of that torch.
So can you guys see that okay now? So there's a little bit of cable management room at the top. And it comes with those fans. And this.
Does Jan, why a hole in the PSU basement these days?
Yeah, the hole in the PSU basement is something which has always kind of been a bit weird.
That's a really tiny little hole though, isn't it?
There's a small gap there. I guess because Aerocool sell their own power supplies. I think. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because we always buy that.
Yeah, the Cylon, don't we? Yeah, the Cylon. So because they always have their own power supplies, and they obviously, yeah, it is probably cut to fit their logo. To be fair, yeah. So yeah, actually, I'm actually quite surprised. I didn't think I was going to be.
David Aiken says, look out for the ARGB connectors. It's a bit confusing. Spider's nest back below.
Ooh. Right, let's have a look at the spider's nest. Actually, let's have a look in the bottom. So 120mm fan on the back. The problem is with these, because you've got this section here where you can put a vertical GPU, you don't get a vertical GPU mounting hardware.
It's a bit bright.
Sorry. Because you don't get the vertical mounting cable or anything, that's a bit redundant, I guess. And if you do put a vertical mounted GPU in there, you are going to lose a lot of height for your CPU cooler, so do bear that in mind. You've got the snap out plates there. Yeah, no problems. Weirdly, the two here are actually I don't know, I thought they were replaceable, they're not. So all of the pop-outs for PCI Express are going to be captive, although the 2 screws are there, but not in the side, so you'd have to put those in manually. Yeah, seems pretty good. Looks like there's a pretty decent offset as well for the power supply. So that is quite good.
I was just going to say, are they both RGB? But
What's that, the fans?
yeah, but you've got...
They should be, yeah. So back panel, bit of flex in it, but not too bad. I think Dave Aiken actually had this case already,
Yeah.
if I remember rightly. And oh yeah, the cable management channels. Where have I seen that before? I've seen that on another case, haven't I? I don't think I've had an Aerocool case before. But oh, was it a Game Max? They included some. Those snap-on ones. I think it was. So you've got a single SSD mounting tray there. You can put 2 at the front as well.
Wasn't that split one? Or divider? Wasn't that Aerocool?
Might have been. So let's work out what's going on with the RGB. Okay. So,
What's
right.
the rear 2 times 80 mil? Is it?
The rear is a 120. 120 mil. So we've got a Molex connector. I'm assuming provides power for the RGB and the fans, so they're going to be static speed, I presume, because it doesn't appear to be any PWM style. But that isn't the end of the world. And we've got a pass-through as well, so you can actually use a motherboard with addressable RGB if you wanted to. So that's not an entirely bad thing. The only thing is, if the fan speeds are a little bit too high and a bit too noisy, then yeah, that isn't great. I'm hoping the front fan is like about 500 RPM or something, or 600 RPM, in which case it's not going to move a lot of air, but it's not going to be overly noisy. And the rear one, if that's somewhere in the region of 1000 RPM, then yeah, I don't see any problems with that at all. But yeah, it's actually a nice little case. Got enough room in there for cable management for sure. Put up 2 3.5-inch drives in the bottom. Yes.
Rear is PWM.
The rear is PWM. What's that then? Who said the rear is PWM?
David Aiken.
Because I can't find the...
Probably why you wanted to look at the wires.
Yeah, no, there isn't a PWM connection for that rear fan. There's only got 1 cable coming off of it. Yeah, the rear cable, there's a single cable coming off that rear. So that is going to be static. Just going to confirm that and take all the cables out, yeah. So both fans have got what looks like a 4-pin. Yeah, there's 4 cables coming off both of them. And then that goes into the Molex. And there's a spur coming off of something else in the front fan, which appears to be for the VDG. So, no, it doesn't appear to be PWM for the rear fan. But we'll soon find out, because I'm going to put a power supply in. And we'll hook this sucker up. Despite the fact we've been streaming for 2.5 hours, I actually want to see what this is like. Oh, it's not 2 1/4. That's all right. It's not as if I've got to go to work tomorrow morning. Mitch, if you're still watching and you're still sober. Actually, no, you won't be sober.
This is about on a Saturday night.
Yeah, he'd be pissed off his head.
Pissed off his out.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. David's had a long week. I'm not entirely surprised he's confused. With Molex connectors, never ever plug them in when the power supply is on. Things go bad.
Poppy, come back.
Dee, 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 dee. That looks alright. And they're very quiet.
Go away from the wire.
Reasonable amount of airflow. Reasonable amount of airflow. I'm going to have to come around to the front to see what it looks like. I can't see what it looks like from here.
Look at my screen.
Oh yeah.
You can't really see the colours.
Actually, that's not too bad.
It's actually much nicer colours, but it's quite... bulby around the edges.
Yeah, you can see the bulbs.
Like,
I don't dislike that though.
Christmas tree.
Yeah, I don't dislike that though. And they're both very similar. The center sticker has been put on by Stevie Wonder, I think. So that's, yeah, not great. Trying to work out if the fan's wobbling or whether it's the sticker. The noisiest thing here actually is this power supply. You can probably hear it hissing. The capacitors and everything in here are hissing like crazy. They don't like it. It's a really old power supply from 1999, I think it was. So it's a 20-odd-year-old power supply, so yeah. Actually, if I put it...
Is it button controlled?
Is it button controlled? Let's go to button moon and see. Yes, it would appear so. I have to wait for the delay on the front there. Actually, I noticed then on the RGB. Ooh, that's nice. That's different, isn't it?
It doesn't show up on camera very nice.
That doesn't look on camera, I don't think, as nice as it does here. That's some funky freakadelic shit going on.
Poppy. No. We've got nice pretty lights.
Look, pretty lights. Okay. Like them? Dee 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 dee. Come here, Babs.
She's tiring.
You tiring out now? Come here. You want to get down and play, don't you? I don't blame you. Oh, don't eat those. They're for side panels, not for kittens.
She's determined to get you beer.
Drink beer. Anyway, back to the lighting. So yeah, that's actually quite nice.
Can you put more fans at the top?
You can put more fans at the top. You can put more fans at the top, but they won't integrate with the system unless you buy the same fans again from Aerocool. Alright, Pops. Jeez. I thought that was blue then. Oh, it is blue. What's going on there? Oh, it's going through the RGB cycle. Okay. Poppy, go away! Oh, you're a nightmare. Nightmare child. Let's go through some more of those. So that's our statics. Red, green, blue. Who'd have thought? RGB. Pink. The pinks are always a little bit of a weird one.
Quite purpley,
The colour on the I can see on Kath's screen actually doesn't do it justice at all. It does look. That looks almost white on there. And in fact, actually, that picture looks particularly bleached out. But anyway, so that is a pale blue, which is probably going to look white on the camera.
Actually, should I turn one light off?
Yeah, try one off. Yeah.
It's a little bit more.
That might make it a little bit better.
It's not much different on my phone to that screen though.
No. Okay. So the yellows on RGB setups are always a weird kind of really.
Where does the?
A really odd yellow. It's not really kind of that rich yellow. It's more of a kind of a greeny yellow, isn't it? But it looks nice though. And actually, it is really quiet. This is going to make a really nice build.
No.
I'll be honest, I've seen this case a few times and I've often looked at it and thought, yeah. But the static RGB has always been one of those things which is kind of given me a little bit of a, I don't know if I can.
Where does the air come
That's alright.
from front panel glass? That's mesh, isn't it?
This is all mesh. So the sides are mesh, there, and this is all mesh.
Yeah,
So
the yellow looks dirty.
it looks like a dirty yellow on the screen, but it's not. It's actually, it's a kind of greeny yellow.
Yeah.
If I put, actually, this is fluorescent green. And if I put it next to it, it's kind of in that similar sort of spectrum. They kind of go together. So it's not a yellowy yellow, it's more of a greeny yellow. Anyway, you don't care. So that is Vice. The white's quite good actually. It's quite a nice white. It's slightly into the blue spectrum, but yeah, works. Oh, and
Dust filter.
Rainbow Puke. there isn't a... Ow! Damn it, you little swine. You little swine. Go on, right off.
We should get a little saddle for her.
We'll get her a saddle
So cute.
and get a bloody Buzz Lightyear or something, or
Oh, yeah.
a Woody to go on her back. Are you going to go riding with Woody on your back?
Running, not riding.
You can't drink it, no.
Maybe she can.
Bad kitty.
Castle.
No, kitty, you bad kitty. No, papa. Go away. You lunatic. Anyway, where was I before I was distracted by kitty cat? So yeah, I've noticed actually the fans have got both internal and...
Babe.
What's she got?
The fan almost.
Oh, don't put your nose in the fan. That's going to cause all kinds of industrial injuries.
Not on the live stream.
So yeah, anyway, Aerocool do those fans separately, so you can actually get them all to work together. So that'll be all right. Happy days. And yeah, press it again. That turns it off. I'm assuming. Let's go through the whole thing again. Oh. So press and hold. That probably puts it into motherboard mode. So then if your motherboard's got a VGA, an RGB thing, you can do it from there. Yeah, actually this is a very nice case. We should, ooh, he says. Let's go on the overhead, and sorry Kath, can you put that light back on? Sorry, thank you. So looking on the overhead, you can see we've got the removable dust filter, 240mm AIO or two 120mm fans. You've also got the extra bit there, so you could probably put two 140s in there, I'm guessing. Actually, what is the length there? 11 inches to, so 280. Yeah, you might just about get those in. We'll try that out, although I don't think many people will put 140s in the top. It's a slightly unusual size, isn't it? You could put a 140 in the back, actually.
Did you say anything about dust filters?
Dust filters, all we got in terms of dust filtration is a dust cover for the top. And for the front, obviously the mesh is effectively the same as what this is, so that is going to be your dust filter for the front. Other than that, there is no dust filters other than the one for the power supply on the bottom. Nice touch actually, which is quite unusual, is the USB headers on the top are both USB 3.0 rather than being USB 2, or a combination like one of each. So that's nice. Separate mic and audio jacks, reset power, reset and RGB, as we've seen. I like this angular look, and it's actually quite sharp as well. It's really well done. It's got a real edge to it, so it's not, rather than being folded.
Like a 90s speaker.
Yeah, it's got a really, I don't know how you'd explain it. It's not got any round into it, so it's really edgy and angular. This is a nice case. Do you know what? I'm actually impressed. I didn't think I was going to be, but I am pleasantly surprised. And actually, I think, the more I think about it now, I shouldn't have bought those motherboards, because I don't think those motherboards would do this case justice. I think this needs a B550 motherboard and a 5600G. I think it definitely does. Yeah, I think it's uglybob, Captain Rovius V1. It's the V1. Okay. Yeah, apparently they do different versions of these. I found this with, there was another Aerocool case which I was looking at recently, which come with, I think it was 3 or 4 fans. And there was like a V1, a V2 and a V3. And each one was a slightly different spec, which made things a little confusing. But yeah, I gotta be honest with you, I'm genuinely trying to find faults with this now.
Hey George.
And I can't. You got rubber grommets, you got pass-throughs, you've got cable management areas, you've got hard drive trays. I suppose if you're being ultra picky, the mesh filter on the power supply on the bottom isn't brilliant.
Can you fit a 360
functional.
in the front?
360 rad in the front? No, I wouldn't have thought so. No, let's have a look measurement wise. I would be exceptionally surprised. So what have we got? No. No, you can get 280s worth in there, so you get 2 140s in there if you wanted to, 2 120s. But I think, to be honest with you, because of the layout of it and how that front is designed, realistically, like, you gotta leave it at that, surely. Or, I wonder. I'm looking at this now. Ooh, no, that's going to be tight. This might be the first case which actually fits the Noctua 120s. The Noctua 200s. Christ, that's on tight. It's supposed to be a pull release, I believe. Dave, help me out. Oh, yeah, it's just on a bit tight. So, there's actually a decent bit of room in there behind that. Let's put it there. You can see the fan a bit better now. So I think, actually no, that's 25mm, which I guess it is. 27mm. Well, actually, there's a bit of a gap there, so. That might be a go. Ow! Jesus Christ, your claws! Poppy! You're hurting me every single time you jump on my legs, you little bugger. Right, get in there. Be good. What's that? Look, food. Right. Yes, so I'm thinking the Noctua fans might actually fit in there. There could potentially be enough room. There doesn't appear to be that many obstructions, although saying that, I think it's going to be the same thing that happens with most of them, where these plastic push pins are going to be the bit that actually stops it, and you won't get it on the inside because of the frame. Oh, I was being rather hopeful then. You can quite often tell if the Noctuas are going to fit, because if the case has got these sort of rounded sections here and here, where they've actually had to scoop a little bit out of the design to make the fan fit, the Noctua ones are a little bit bigger overall and wider, so yeah, any of these little bits in the way are going to prevent it from doing that. Although we probably will still give it a go, just to see if it will happen. Although, realistically, I don't think you need to. Because the whole point of this case and the design of it is the fact that, look, I've got an RGB 200mm fan in the front, and don't I look pretty for it? So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. Nice one, Bob. You've now cost me even more money to go and buy yet another motherboard. It's not a problem. I enjoy it. I like doing motherboard reviews, even though I don't go into much depth on them. I cover the things I find important, and hopefully other people do as well. So, very good. We like. Just going to pack this away. I am so running out of room. It's not even funny. And yet again today, the company which is supposed to be installing our loft hatch bailed again for the second or third time. Is this the second time or third time now?
Second, but then they did try and book us in the week, but cancelled straight away.
Yeah, they, from what I can tell, it's a relatively local company. And yeah, they basically bailed yet again. So, yeah. Not ideal. I was hoping to get the loft hatch put in so we can go up in the loft and start putting some of these case boxes and stuff actually in the loft for storage, rather than having them in here, taking up so much room, because it is actually quite depressing every day.
Bob will tell you how small this room
Bob will confirm rather what this room is actually like, and Dave Aitkins as well, possibly a few others of you that are watching if you've been here. But yes, this room is not the biggest, and a lot of people think that it goes back further behind the camera. It doesn't. It literally doesn't. There is, from physically where the camera is sat there, there's about 6 foot.
That's not. It's about 4.
All right, we'll meet halfway at 5. Okay. So there's about 5 foot behind the camera, and there's about 7 or 8, well, 7 foot in front of the camera to the wall. So it's about 12 foot this room, which isn't big, and it's about 11 foot that way. So it is a tiny little room. The camera in a moment is essentially towards the middle of it. So yes, there isn't a lot of room in here. considering there is 2 computer desks and all this other stuff going on in here, and also obviously the cats. They take up way too much room.
Poppy does.
Poppy takes up all the room.
The other 3 aren't too bad.
Yeah, the other 3 are relatively self-contained. Poppy is the problem child. Now, are these in any particular order, or are they both the same? They appear to be both the same. That makes me rather happy. So that's going to go that way round. You'd think by now, for all the years I've done this, I would know which way these boxes go on. Well, actually, as well, I should point out the hard drive tray, for those that are interested, is actually removable. There's a couple of screws on the bottom, so you can take out the hard drive tray in its entirety if you don't want to use it. Might give you a little bit more airflow, although I don't think it'll give you much, to be honest with you, because of that fan being relatively central. Oh dear. So we didn't get a chance to take a look at the Marvo keyboard and mouse, and I think things have got a bit late for that anyway, so we won't have a look at that now because, well, it's getting late. Right, let's have a look through some of your questions and see what your thoughts are on that. Mr. Handtech says, we have some decent cases at the moment. Yeah, I think so. I think you're probably right there. William Bodie says, make a 70s Bruce Lee PC out of it. I'm not sure how that would work, but I could, a Bruce Lee PC. Don't know what I'd do to that. That's an interesting one. J. Rich says, Mike's puncture holes. Yeah, they've got a lot of those. Oh. I have, look at that. Actual scarred.
She loves the Q-link string, and my neck
and there.
Feels like it's razor wire this now. The way she scratches.
Kath and I both wear these Q-link pendants, and every morning when the cat comes up and sort of wakes us up, or I go down and get the cat to wake it up, then it comes and kills me. It's yeah.
It's like having razor wire on your neck, Chris. Attacking Q-link wire. Not
good. I'm going to try and grow a beard to try and defend myself. Hopefully by Christmas I might get a secondary job as Santa Claus's slightly deranged cousin. So, Ivory Wolfman, can you fit a 360 rad in the front? No, that is definitely not going to happen. 240 or 280, yep. Dutch Jan says, question, push-pull with radiator, much static flow, airflow. I don't think that fan is going to be really enough for that much kind of pressure. I've never been a great fan of doing that, having push-pull configurations, because they never particularly work well. And trying to get the fans balanced enough so that the one in the front does enough work so that the ones in the rear don't have to be overloaded or underloaded is very, very hard work. O'Reilly says, Mike's DIY case mods, cut the plastic. Yeah, I was already thinking along those lines, I've got to be honest. Patrick Bell says, yes, it's a wide case. It is quite wood. Ugly Bob says it was like Del Boy's lockup in the studio. It is. It really is. It really is. If your eye level goes above kind of here, it's just boxes and parts. It's insane. I quite like it because it's all on hand, but it's still like, oh god. I'm looking at the wall and like, oh, there's a spare bit of wall there. I could put some shelves there. And Kath don't like it. I don't blame her.
It feels like it's all closing in on
it. It does. This room seems much smaller now. We've got more shelves in it because it's smaller, because the shelves take up loads of room. Ugly Bob says, from where the camera is, me and Kath were stood, and then there's the wall. Yeah, that is it.
Oh, your new kitten is so cute to do your next build with her. Oh, let her
Jesus, yeah, that would not be good. Michael Craig says, beards don't make good for armour. No, I think you're probably right there. Do your next build with the kitten, the next, she'd just go crazy for cable ties and any screws that I lose. Ordinary dude, my computer room is much the same. You're
actually kneeling on the floor.
I am almost kneeling on the floor at the moment. I think Irish said, yeah. Trojan says, looks like a 280 area at the top. Possibly. It's going to be dependent on your RAM and the VRMs on your motherboard, I think. Because the motherboard is basically right up against the top, there is an offset of a couple of inches, so yeah, you might do. You'd struggle, if you did put it in there, you'd struggle to get a EPS connector in there without probably removing the radiator every time, I think. When I do the review on it, I'll try and I'll see if I can get a 280 rad. I don't have one, so I'll see if there's something I can do in that regard. John Sullivan says my computer room is the lounge. It's almost getting that. Our lounge is actually quite nice and tidy, and there's not a lot in there. There's like sofa, TV, a couple of shelves, and that's it.
Cats.
You've probably seen it from some of the vacuum videos. This is pretty clear, but this room is like just, yeah, mental.
But then that room does pile up with things.
O'Reilly says, how long until you can't see the floor as it is covered in boxes? It's not that bad. Although, basically in the room, anywhere where there's a surface, anything underneath that surface is got boxes. So this shelf behind, that's all boxes underneath there, behind there. And stuff that needs reviewing, and it's actually coming out from the wall as well. I didn't want that to happen, but it is.
But then we've been a bit lax because the kitten.
Yeah, we have been a bit lax on it, to be honest with you. Right, I think that's going to pretty much wrap this up. I don't think I can actually do much more unless there's any more questions.
Congrats to our Wolfman.
Yeah, congratulations to Irie Wolfman. He says, just moved my office. It's bigger now. The old office is becoming a nursery. So I would assume by that there is a Bambino on the way. In which case, my congratulations and commiserations at the same time.
No commiserations. Oh, number 3.
Right, everyone's heading off now. Hi Glenn. Sorry, I didn't see you in the chat. Hi Glenn. Irie Wolfman, awesome job. Number 3. Wow, you brave, brave man. Right, yes, I think that's going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much for staying with us to the end. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. You guys are insane, you really are. But thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks to all of you that have super chatted, and thanks to all those that become members as well. Obviously, big thanks to Bob as well for sending stuff to us as he does on a regular basis. Yeah, it's your fault the house is full up. Although you did take a chair this week, so you have helped out. So yeah, swings and roundabouts, but thank you very much. Cosmic Space Muffins come in, says, hey buddy. You come in just as we're about to leave. James Mussolini says good night as well. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap things up. Again, thanks to all of you. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Hopefully it's been a bit of a laugh. And if any of you find the Bonanza MP3, which isn't copyrighted, please do post it on the Discord or email me it. Actually, don't email me it. Send me a link instead. That's safer. So yes, I think that is it. Mike Craig, thank you all. Trojan, awesome stuff. So yeah, clocks are going backwards, so don't forget to set them tonight or whatever you do in your household. I will try not to be late for work tomorrow, Mitch. If you're still watching, you won't be, because you'll be absolutely hanging.
You can't get in there.
So Charles Arnold says, well done for a lovely entertaining broadcast. Love the kitten. Good night. Good night to you, sir. Yeah, that's going to wrap this up. I'm pretty much lost for words. Always your guys' generosity and loyalty and all that kind of stuff. Watching the videos, even if they're rubbish ones, you still go in there and click on them and comment on them. So we do thank you very much. And we know that not all the videos are going to be to everybody's taste, but some of you do make the effort and go into every single one. So we do thank you all very much for that. Don't forget, if you're buying stuff for Halloween, if you're buying stuff for
A bit late for Halloween.
Black Friday, if you're buying stuff for Thanksgiving or Christmas, do use our Amazon links. It all helps out, and doesn't matter if you just click on a link on any video, anything you buy subsequently after that does all go towards the kind of commissions that we get. So if you want to help the channel, do your shopping through Amazon and click on the links before you do anything else. So I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you, yes you, even you James Miscellaneous, in the next stream. Thanks for watching.